Okay, today is the day where we are sharpening our axe. Okay, today is the day where we are sharpening our skills, which we go ahead and implement the next day onwards. Fair enough? Let's go down. Press 1. Coming to the psychology of recruitment, we come to 5 steps to a call. Okay, how easy, simple is it? याद करने को मुश्किल है ये? 5 steps. What are the 5 steps?
Introduction, short story, presentation, price, close, rehash.
Simple. Introduction, short story, presentation, price, close, rehash. Okay? Let's come to introduction. What are the ingredients of introduction? It says you got to smile, you got to have excitement, call the candidate by name. Yeah? Simple? That's what introduction is. When you pick up the phone, you introduce yourself first. When you're talking to a person who's unknown, okay, the person, he doesn't know you. So you got to introduce yourself, right? The ingredients of introduction is first, you smile. Can anybody see you smile over the phone? Nobody can see you smile over the phone, but people can hear you smile or feel you smile. When somebody is angry on the other side, we know, right? You know somebody is angry on the other side? Okay, you can't see his anger, but you can feel it. Okay? A warm, genuine smile is what you need to have while you talk to a candidate. Okay? The next thing it says is, इतना जल्दी है क्या? Excitement है. Okay? It's not short story. वो तो बाद में आएगा. But I'm talking about ingredients of introduction itself. Excitement. Yeah? What is excitement? What is excitement? Yeah, what you guys are displaying is definitely not excitement. It's about being energetic on the call. Okay, it's about you showing your excitement, your energy while talking to a candidate. All right? And why is excitement important? Why is excitement important? It's because excitement only sells. Only excitement sells, nothing else. Only excitement sells. You don't have to tell the presentation, you don't have to tell the profile to the candidate, you don't have to say anything. You only have to be excited. If you are excited, it's sold. Because what you do, you try and sell the job to the candidate, but the candidate ends up buying your personality. Keep that in mind. The candidate ends up buying your personality and not the job. Because it so happens that one recruiter calls the candidate for a particular job, he says no. Another recruiter calls the same candidate for the same job and he says yes. Why? Job to wahi hai. It's the same job. So why does he have to say no to one recruiter and yes to the other? Because he bought the personality of the recruiter. So when you give your 5 steps or when you call up a candidate, you're not selling the job, you're selling your personality. And one of the key ingredients of you selling your personality is your level of excitement. How excited you are while talking to a candidate. You know, in college, okay, you always had certain professors whose lectures you love to listen. You would never bunk those lectures. You always love to listen to those lectures. And there are certain professors who invariably put you to sleep. Okay? Arey, iska lecture hai, Dubey ka lecture hai, chhod do. Bunk. Why? Why do you like certain professors' lectures and you don't like to listen to the other professors? Why? It's because of the way they deliver. It's because of their excitement level. It's because of examples they give. It's because of a little bit of humor that they create. Now you got to ask yourself a question. When you talk to a candidate, which one of these two professors are you? Does the candidate love to talk to you? Or he just wants to hang up the phone? अच्छा ठीक है okay, मैं जा रहा हूँ interview के लिए, okay, bye. He just doesn't want to talk to you. You look at it yourself and you identify, what is the way am I talking? Am I giving the right vibes? Am I being excited when I'm talking to him? Does he want to listen to me? Or I'm just another professor who wants to be bunked? There's some people whom I see, they speak over the phone like drug peddlers. Hello? आ जाओ interview कर. अरे क्या कर रहे हो? What are you doing? Be excited. The person sitting next to you has to put one finger on his ear and he's got to talk to his candidate the other way. And you got to say, shh. जगह पे तो कोई बैठ के बात नहीं करता. घूमते फिरते बात करने को सबको आदत है. तो आराम से बात करो ना. Be clear, be legible, be excited. I'll give you another example. There are two parties going on. Okay? There's one party where there's one guy who's playing a violoncell. The big violin that comes in. Okay, he's playing that violoncell. There are oldies who are putting their leg on their table. They got wine glass. Okay, and that's one party that's going on. There's dim light. And there's another party going on where there are jazz lights, there is disco going on, boys and girls are dancing, there's fast music. Which one of these parties would you like to attend? Violin? You want to attend the other party? Why? There's excitement there. There's a lot of excitement. Yes or no? Excitement sells. If I conducted this training program like this, I sat down over here and said, first step is introduction, likh lo, okay? Just write down first step, introduction. Second step, short story, purpose of call, creative, likho. Arey, if this is the way I conduct a training, you guys will go to sleep here. Every call you make is a performance. Every call you make, every candidate you speak to is a performance. What I am trying to deliver here is a performance. Okay? The candidate wouldn't know कि पहले वाला candidate ने तुमसे क्या बात किया है. Whether the phone was hung up with a lot of respect, you wouldn't know. Okay, the previous candidate shouldn't know or wouldn't know. Or the next candidate you speak to wouldn't know. Okay, you got to speak with the same level of excitement. The first candidate you speak to and the last candidate you speak to should be with the same level of excitement. And all candidates in between also. Same level of excitement is what you got to speak to. Excitement sells. Okay, and what is the measurement of excitement? कितना excited होके मैं बात करूं? There should be a measurement as well, right? How excited should I be while talking to a candidate? The level of excitement with which I have to speak to the candidate is, if I meet my best friend after 10 years, what will my excitement level be? My best friend I meet after 10 years. How will my excitement level be? कैसी है? बहुत सालों बाद? Okay. Is that the way you will speak to your best friend after 10 years? Okay, you will go bonkers. क्या बात है? कितने सालों बाद? That's the way you will talk to your best friend, right? That's the level of excitement you got to speak to when you talk to your candidate. Okay? Introduction, smile, excitement, call the candidate by name. The best thing everybody loves about themselves is their name. They take pride in their name. Okay? When you call a person by name, okay, first of all, you attract attention. You attract attention. If you're walking on the road and somebody from behind calls your name, okay, you turn around, whatever you're doing, and then you see somebody of your own name is meeting up with the other guy. Okay, but a name attracts attention. When you speak to a candidate, irrespective of whether it's a DM or whichever profile you work on, when you speak to a candidate, call the candidate by name. Okay? And I have also seen a lot of people, they have the data on Times Jobs, they know what's the name of the candidate, okay? And they call up the candidate and ask, am I speaking to Mr. Sharma? Or am I speaking to Vivek? नाम है ना सामने, हाँ उसका नंबर भी दिया हुआ है ना, तो तुम्हारा नाम क्या है बसंती क्यों करते हो? Why do you have to do it? Okay, if you call and say, hi Vivek, how are you? That's a simple introduction. I'm just giving Vivek, there's nobody Vivek here, but I'm just giving an example. Okay, hi Vivek, how are you? This is a simple introduction with excitement, smile, and calling the candidate by name. Now let's look at it from a candidate point of view. Okay? What we're doing here by using our 5 steps is creating impulse. We are creating impulse in a candidate. Now what is impulse? Again, pin drop silence. Come on guys, come on, tell me, what is impulse? Okay, they want to know why are we calling. What is impulse? Quick decision. Okay, you know people say he's an impulsive buyer, he makes an impulsive decision. Okay, what is impulse? Impulse is the spur of the moment a decision is made. Okay, and what you do is make the decision for the candidate. The candidate feels he's making the decision, but you already made the decision in your favor. That's what you do when you use your 5 steps. Okay, when a candidate gets a call from you, okay, now he looks at his phone and it's an unknown number. It's an unknown number. Yeah? So tentatively is what a candidate picks up the call. Kiska call hai? Let me just check. And he says hello. And the moment I say, hi Shubhangi, how are you? Okay, what comes into her mind is, yaar ye koi mera dost lag raha hai, ab gali dega ki mere paas uska number nahi hai. I am fine, I'm sorry, I don't have your number, is what the way your candidate will respond. But instead, if I call the candidate and say, am I speaking to Ms. Shubhangi? What happens? I'm busy, I'll speak to you later. That's a telecaller's pitch. That is a telecaller's pitch. I know the name of the candidate. Okay, so I just got to take it and say, hi Shubhangi, how are you? That's it. Why do I have to ask what I already know? Okay, and the impulse risen already, where the candidate, okay, there's somebody who knows my name, somebody knows something about me. Okay, yeah, Shubhangi here, my introduction is done. Smile, excitement, and call the candidate by name. And during your pitch, keep taking the candidate's name in between. Because if the candidate gets distracted doing something else, the moment you call his name, you bring him back to focus. Hello. Calling a candidate by name means, hello, come back, listen to me. Okay? I got your attention. That's what it means by calling a candidate by his name. Understood? Okay? Now that's introduction. The next one that comes is short story. Okay? Short story, it says, purpose of your call, and you got to be creative. And you got to use the KISS principle, which says, keep it short and simple. Keep it short and simple. Now the candidate knows, first, once you're done with your introduction, okay, and I say, hi Shubhangi, how are you? This is Arun here. Okay, I've done my introduction, I've got my name given. Okay, the next thing I've got to do is short story. Why have I called the candidate? When there are questions like who, why, how, when, how much, these are the questions that are risen in a candidate's mind when you call up a candidate. Okay? The candidate sees your number and the first thing the candidate feels is, who's this calling me? Okay? Now, I have given my introduction saying, hi, my name is Arun. Okay, and I'm calling from Waays and Solutions. Now, I have given my introduction. Now, the next thing that comes into the candidate's mind is, why has this person called me? Kya kaam hai? Okay? So, I ask another question. Okay? I answer another question of his and raise another question in his mind. Okay? By giving my short story, I say, be creative. My short story could be, well, this is one of your most important calls in your life so far. That's my short story. I've given my short story. I've created questions in his mind. When questions are created in their minds, impulse rises. Okay? I'll tell you guys one thing. This is the secret that I'm going to reveal to you guys right now. And that's why I've called everybody here together today. Okay? Please make note of this. You know this, the moment you get to know what I'm just about to say, you can do nothing less than 15 points a month. Nothing less than 15 points. Just make a note of whatever I'm about to say right now. It's that much more important. Okay? It's just a one-liner that I'm going to tell you guys, but that's the secret for you guys to do 15 points a month. Impulse rise ho gaya? कि अब भी ये क्या बोलने वाला है? What is he going to say? That's the kind of impulse you got to create in a candidate. There is no secret. Okay? There is no secret. There is no secret to success, yeah. Hard work. What secret to success can you have? No look for shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. I got to work hard. That's it. Okay? But what I just did is I created an impulse in your mind as to what is this guy going to say right now. So when I give my short story and I tell a candidate, well, the next 5 minutes, you got to be attentive to me. Okay? It's going to make your career. This could be a short story. Okay? I just called to put a smile on your face. This could be a short story. This is what the short story that you got to use. Okay? Wahi gisa pita, I've got a job opportunity for you. Are you looking for a job? Nonsense. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? That's not the short story. You're not creating any impulse in a candidate by doing so. For you to create an impulse in a candidate, well, you got to speak differently. It's not what you say, but how you say that matters. You got to use innovative stories. Discuss short stories amongst yourself. What could be another short story? Write down 10 different short stories. Keep using it differently when you talk to different candidates. You keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same results. You do things differently, you're going to get different results. So keep doing things differently. Use different short stories. You raise a question, how is this guy going to make a smile, put a smile on your face? How are the next 5 minutes going to change my career? I have raised a question in this guy's mind. And by raising this question, I'm going to answer it. Okay? He first thought, why has this person called me? Okay? I told him that I've called you to change your career. The next question that comes into his mind is, how is this guy going to change my career? What is this guy going to do for changing my career? Okay? And I come to the next step, which is presentation. Okay? I tell him, I give him a presentation on how am I going to change his career. Okay? You seeing the sequence step by step? Okay. Presentation. What does presentation say? Decorate the profile, sell the sizzle, not the steak, and sense of ownership. Yeah? Okay. Now, how do we decorate the profile? Or what is decoration of profile? How do we decorate a particular profile? Everybody's seen MasterChef? Or you guys heard of this serial MasterChef? Yeah. Now, what are the points given for in that particular serial? If once a chef prepares a particular food, okay, what are the points given for? The points are not only given for the taste. They're also given for the way it's displayed, the way it's kept on the plate, the way the spoon or the fork is kept along with it. Okay, are they matching enough? That's what you get those points for. Okay, it's not only for the taste. Okay, so that's called decoration of profile. Okay, now there's another example, and I love this. It's about, in olden days, there used to be arranged marriages. Okay, some people still do so. Okay, but in olden days, there used to be arranged marriages. Okay, and एक विधि होता था, okay, कि लड़के वाले जाते थे लड़की वालों के घर पे, कि first time वो उस लड़की को देखें. या लड़की वालों के घर पे सब जगह से समोसा कचौरी सब कुछ आता था और बोलते हैं हमारी लड़की ने बनाया है. Okay, and that day the girl is the most beautiful. She's decked up completely, she's gone down her hair, she's put her makeup and everything. That day she's the most beautiful. Okay, and when she comes with the tray and this guy is with a cup of tea which she's prepared, okay, she comes with the tray to this guy and this guy says, okay, done. Okay, close. Okay, well, now that's presentation. That's presentation. Okay, for all the guys, you really want to see how the girl is, go 1 hour before. Okay, you will get to know how the girl really is. Okay, but that is presentation. That's how you decorate a profile. Okay, let's talk about a development manager profile. For some of you guys who are doing that particular profile, or sales manager, I think you guys were doing Excite, for sales manager Excite. What is the profile all about? आपको धंधा करना है, सेल्स करना है, आपको इंश्योरेंस बेचना है, आपको खुद आप नहीं बेच पाए तो आपको 4 लोगों को इकट्ठा करना है, सबसे बिकवाना है. ये काम है. In a nutshell, this is what a DM or a sales manager profile is. Okay, but how do you put it across to a candidate while talking to him? Okay, makes all the difference. That's what makes all the difference. Sell the sizzle, not the steak. Yoko's Sizzlers. You guys know about this hotel? Okay, there's a hotel called Yoko's Sizzlers. Or you go to any Chinese restaurant. Okay, there's this waiter who brings along, and that thing makes a lot of noise. Okay, कुछ नहीं, वो पानी डालते हैं, बटर डालते हैं और गोभी रहता है. वो इतना आवाज करता है. Okay, and everybody in the hotel is they just put their spoons and they see what is going on over there. Okay, they do not know what's the content, but they only know something's making noise and a lot of smoke. That's called selling the sizzle and not the steak. How many of us have been to McDonald's? Almost everybody? McDonald's? Yeah? McDonald's have the worst burgers. Worst. Our vada pav is even better. McDonald's is worst burgers. No taste. Okay, but everybody wants to go into McDonald's. Why? Now there's free Wi-Fi also. Okay, they got free Wi-Fi now. Okay, and then they've got the way they've got their hotel done. Okay, there's got music. They always, the kind of places that they have McDonald's is somewhere close to a college. Okay, where all college going guys come in. Okay, it's become a hotspot where everybody comes and meets up together. Okay, and MACD, that's the way everybody call it. Cafe coffee day. 85 rupees for a coffee, who will pay? Why? Cutting chai is even better. But people want to go coffee, CCD. You go to CCD. They're selling the sizzle, not the steak. You are not buying coffee there. You're not going to drink coffee. Keep this thing in mind. When you want to have a cup of tea, you go looking out for a tapri. You don't go for CCD. I want CCD. CCD पे चाय नहीं पियो तो मुझे कुछ हो जाएगा. ऐसा कुछ है क्या? That's not the way it is. They sell the sizzle, not the steak. They're not selling tea or coffee. McDonald's doesn't sell burgers. They sell the atmosphere. That's what they sell. And you end up buying the atmosphere along with the burger. Make sense? Okay? So you sell the sizzle, not the steak. And sense of ownership. What is sense of ownership? You make a person feel that he is in that particular role already. He's already in that particular role. That's what you make a person feel. Okay? In malls there are toy sections. Okay? And there's always one salesperson standing near the toy section. Okay? And when kids go to the malls, the first place where they run is to the toy section. Okay? They run to the toy section. And there, the kid starts looking at all the toys, and there's this salesperson who just picks up a toy and puts it in the hand of the kid. And now this guy is playing with the toy. This guy is enjoying playing with this toy. Okay? And by the time he gets comfortable with the toy, the salesperson takes it away, snatches it, takes it back. Okay? What does the kid do? Okay? Starts crying. And what happens? Big guy. Okay? The parents come, kya hua? No, I want that toy. Done. Sold. What this guy has done, he has given a sense of ownership to the kid that here you go, play. This is your toy. He's given a sense of ownership. Okay? And then he takes the ownership back. And that's what he's not crying for the toy. He's crying for the fact that this was mine and it's been taken away. Now that's the sense of ownership that's been taken away, for which the kid starts crying and the toy gets sold. It's all about psychology. It's all about the way a person thinks. Okay? So when you give a presentation, when you give a sense of ownership to a candidate, a development manager position, a development manager has to do this, a development manager has to line up or have a team of 10 people, a development manager has to go sell insurance. Instead of saying this, I say, you as a development manager are the most important person in the company. You will be responsible for building up a team of people as good as what you are. Okay? You don't have to do sales yourself. You have to assist your team members in doing so. And when you do that, you get incentives. You get foreign trips. Okay? Now that's when I keep stressing on you, I give a sense of ownership. This guy already has gone to La La Land. This guy is already thinking, well, I'm already doing all this. Club Mahindra. Have you guys gone to Club Mahindra ever? Have guys gone to a Club Mahindra session? Okay, where they call people. Okay, you know what the modus operandi for Club Mahindra is? The modus operandi for Club Mahindra is, they call couples or they call people for a presentation. Okay, and they call people saying you're getting a free gift. Okay, and people go for a free gift. Okay, and they make them sit down on a round table. There's one person sitting here, there's one person, two people sitting there. Okay, and they don't speak to the guy too much. They don't speak to the guy, they speak to his wife. Ma'am, when was the last time he took you abroad? And she looks at him, long time back. Okay, think about this, you're sitting on a beach and this female's already gone in La La Land. She's already thinking, okay, all this is what I'm providing you for such a petty amount. Okay? Check signed. That's what happens. Okay? And today is what you're getting this offer. They stress on today, today, today. But the way they give their presentation, they've got their laptops, they show various sceneries of various places where a person already feels he's a part of it, he's already gone there, living his dream. Okay, so that's sense of ownership. That's the kind of sense of ownership you need to give a candidate while you speak to him during your presentation. Got it? Okay. Now, after sense of ownership or after presentation, the next question that comes into this guy's mind is, what's my salary? How much will I make? How much will I make? What's my salary? That's the next question, right? And then is where I come to price. Then is where I come to price. Okay? Most of you guys make this mistake of calling up a candidate एक डेवलपमेंट मैनेजर का पोजीशन है, 2.5 लाख का सैलरी, आप इंटरेस्टेड हो? ना इंट्रोडक्शन हुआ, ना शॉर्ट स्टोरी हुआ, ना प्रेजेंटेशन हुआ, सीधा इंट्रोडक्शन से प्राइस पे जंप मारे तो तुम्हारा कैंडिडेट क्या हाँ बोलने वाला है तुमको? ही इज नॉट गोइंग टू से यस. You go through a sequence, okay? And in presentation, it's important for you to know what profile do you have to give to this candidate, okay? Over a period of time, you've got quite a few profiles with you, okay? Some profiles that have been given you a week back, some profiles that have been given you earlier, okay? These are profiles that are still open and that have been given to you, and new profiles keep coming to you. Okay, every second day, every second day, you keep getting new profiles. Now, when you're talking to this candidate, while you make this candidate speak, you need to analyze which profile you have to give this candidate. We are not a sari shop. We are not a sari shop. When you go to a sari shop, this guy pulls one sari, Benji, ye dekho, and he pulls up another, ye bhi dekho. He pulls 10 saris and puts it out. If you like one, then you get confused looking at the other 10. And you end up buying one because itna usne mehnat kiya, ek to loon. That's the way you end up buying a sari from there. Okay? We're not a sari shop. We have to just pull one and say, this is the profile for you. Okay? After speaking to you, after analyzing what kind of strengths you have and the profile that you would fit into is this one. That's one profile that you got to pull out and give it to him. नहीं ये नहीं अच्छा लगा डेवलपमेंट मैनेजर, अच्छा ठीक है हमारे पास एक्साइट लाइफ के लिए भी सेल्स मैनेजर है, नहीं वो भी नहीं अच्छा लगा, अभी हमारे पास नया कंपनी है मैक्स न्यूयॉर्क लाइफ, उसमें भी हमारे पास है, वो भी अच्छा नहीं लगा, नहीं, I only pull out one and I give it to him. Understood? Okay. Now we come to price. Price says tell the MRP and then the price you offer, make the candidate feel special. Now how do you make a candidate feel special? How do you make a candidate feel special? Or have I ever made a candidate feel special so far? Ever? In all the calls that I've done all this while, have I made a candidate feel special? I doubt it. Honestly, I doubt it. Now, how do I make a candidate feel special? If I say anybody wearing black here gets $100. Anybody who's wearing black gets $100. But you feel special, right? Nobody else is wearing, I'm wearing. I'm the only one who's going to get $100. Okay? And nobody else. Now, I got to make a candidate feel special. I'll come to that. But before that, I'll talk about tell the MRP and then the price of which you're offering. How many of us have gone to Reliance Digital, Vijay Sales? Gaye hain? Yeah? That's your TV. It's a 42-inch LG LED TV, and there is a box. There's a chit stuck on that TV. It says MRP 70,000. VSP, that is Vijay Sales price, is what Vijay Sales has got. Vijay Sales price 50,000. You save 20,000. And ये 70,000 के ऊपर एक cross है. Okay, have you guys noticed it? Why do they have to put this? Why can't they just say LG TV 50,000? Why do they have to show the MRP is 70 and then their price is 50 and you save 20? It's an audio visual impact that they're giving you. Okay? वो चिट देख के तुमको लगता है कि अगर मैं ये टीवी ले लूं तो मैं 20,000 रुपए बचाऊं. वो बुद्धू को ये नहीं समझ में आता कि वो टीवी नहीं लेगा तो 50,000 बचेगा. Okay? But he just wants, I want to save 20,000. 20,000 is what I want to save. Okay, people look at how much they're saving. And they see if I go to some other store, I will get it for more, a little bit more cost. But here I get it for 50, which is 20,000 less than the MRP. Okay? Now that's what you got to do to your candidate when you speak to your candidate. Okay? If the CTC is 3 lakhs, you might as well tell your candidate, the CTC is 2.5 lakhs, but I like your profile. I will send your profile personally to the branch manager and I'll make sure I at least make it 3 lakhs for you. और किसी को नहीं मिल रहा 3 lakhs, सिर्फ मुझे मिल रहा है. Okay? That's the way I've made the candidate feel special. Okay? For everybody else it's 2.5, but for you, I'll speak to the branch manager there. I will recommend for a 3 lakh package for you, is what I speak to the candidate. Understood? Okay? Now, if your candidate is BSc, if your candidate is BSc, okay, and you say, well, I do not know, the branch managers liking a lot of BSc. 4 candidates who had gone earlier, okay, 3 of them were BSc, he selected all 3. 1 BCom he did not select. So your BSc, the chances of you getting selected is that much more. Okay, because that's how you make a candidate feel special. Understood? Okay. Now that comes to your price. Then comes close. Anybody can open a call, but not everybody can close them. Closing requires skill. Closing requires skill. Okay. And that comes with practice. Closing comes with practice. Okay. What does it say in closing? It says, assume the call and ask yes, yes questions. No dead space. And I doubt, I hope we're not giving dead space here. Now, what is dead space? After I tell the price to the candidate, after I tell him what the CTC is, there is a 2-3 second halt or a gap. Okay, where now you are expecting the candidate to say, हाँ तो मैं interested हूँ, तो मुझे बताओ कहाँ जाना है. Well, nobody will say that to you. Nobody will say that to you. Okay, if you have to assume the call, what do you mean by assuming the call? What is assuming the call? We assume that the candidate is interested in the profile. Agree with her? Why do we assume? Why should we assume? उधर लिखा है इसलिए assume. Why should I assume? I have got to say, I have put in so much of effort. I've given my introduction, I've given my short story, I've given my presentation, I've given my price, I've given my best, everything with excitement. अब ये candidate जाएगा interview को. I have to assume that. And when I assume that, I have to ask yes, yes questions. Yes, yes questions are questions for which the obvious answer is a yes. So if I ask the candidate, are you interested? यहाँ पर no बोलते हो, but candidate से एक question पूछते भी हो. क्यों? यहाँ पर तो हम बन जाते हैं, no, I only ask yes, yes questions. But you ask, are you interested? Are you wishing of, dreaming of, interested in going for a job? Or you desire to go for a job? These are not the questions that we ask. We ask yes, yes questions, for which the obvious answer is a yes. What is a yes, yes question? Give me a question quick. हिटलर है क्या तू? हाँ. Yes, yes question. Speak louder. Okay. First of all, I should never give time slots. Okay? I only give a time. I do not give time slots. 10 से 12 के बीच में कभी भी चले जाओ, या 4 से 6 के बीच में कभी भी चले जाओ, वो ब्रांच मैनेजर वेला बैठा है तुम्हारे लिए वहाँ पर, नहीं. That's not the way I speak to the candidate. Okay? I tell the candidate, I have scheduled your interview at this time. There are two time slots, two time zones available for you. One is 11:30 and one is 2:30. Which one of the two would you prefer? Okay? आपका इंटरव्यू स्केड्यूल कितने बजे करूं? 11:30 करूं कि 2:30 बजे करूं? Okay? I have to give a particular time and not a time range. Okay? Do not give time range. Give a particular time. Even if you have to tell the candidate, okay, give me 5 minutes, let me call you back. After price, okay, when you close, just tell the candidate, give me 5 minutes, let me call you back. And you call him back after 5 minutes. In that 5 minutes, you make a couple of more calls, speak to a couple of more candidates. And after 5 minutes, call him back and say, I have spoken to the line manager. I've got 2 interview slots for you. One is 11:30 and one is 2:30. Which one would you prefer? Which one of the time slots would you prefer? Okay, 2:30. All right. I'm scheduling your interview. I'm forwarding an email to the line manager saying you'll be available for an interview by 2:30. By 2:15, make sure you're there. Okay. Now this is the way you close. With yes, yes questions. These are yes, yes questions. Okay? Post which you have rehash. Now this is something which everybody knows, and how much ever you know, you just don't implement. Rehash. You know what rehash is? We say, okay, it's taking references. When you go to a hotel to have food, after you've had your idli, vada, sambar and all that, the waiter comes to you and says, "Aur kuch chai, coffee, lassi?" Puchta hai ki nahi puchta waiter? Okay? That is rehash. तुम्हारा खाना हो गया तो सिर्फ बिल लेके आएगा वो. बिल लेके आने से पहले बस एक सवाल पूछता है, चाय, कॉफी, लस्सी, कुछ और? Okay? और हमारे मन में डाल दिया कि चलो कुछ और खा पी लेते हैं. उसने क्या कर दिया? अपना बिल बढ़ा दिया वहां पर सिर्फ ये एक सवाल पूछ के. Just by asking this one question, he's increased the bill there. Okay? Now I got to rehash. I got to take references. And I shouldn't be taking references. The kind of attitude I need to have. I am providing the job here. And you're going for an interview. Who's doing a favor on whom? Who's doing a favor on whom? Are you doing a favor on the candidate by providing him a job? Or he's doing a favor on you by going for an interview? Who's doing a favor? So we are doing a favor. So we got to have that kind of an attitude. I hear some of the confirmation calls. Next morning when you make confirmation calls, I've heard some of the confirmation calls happening. Hello? Ja rahe ho na? Pakka? Promise? ये कौन सा confirmation कर रहे हो? This is not the way you confirm candidates. This is not the way you confirm candidates. Now, most of you guys who are laughing are victims to it. You've done it. नहीं जा रहे हो? क्या हो गया? अरे you need to have an attitude. I'm the person providing you a job. I'm the person who's providing you an opportunity. So I've got an upper hand at any and every given point of time. Over a period of time, while talking to candidates, you got to prepare or you got to create a rapport. Okay? A rapport, a relationship is what you need to create with the candidate. I like it at times when I get call from HR कि यार candidate HR का नाम लिख रहा है, consultancy का नाम नहीं लिख रहा. He's not writing your company's name, he's writing the HR's name. And at times I like it. Because the only thing that comes into the candidate's mind is the recruiter and not anybody else. He doesn't even remember the name of the company, he only remembers the recruiter. Which is good. That's the kind of impact you've created. Just keep one thing in mind. Irrespective of whether your candidate says a yes or a no, irrespective, at home, on his dinner table, he should discuss about you. That's the kind of impact you need to create in a candidate's mind. At home, on his dinner table, he should discuss. यार आज एक call आया था. He should discuss about you. That's the kind of impact you need to create. That's the kind of performance you need to give while talking to a candidate. That's the kind of rapport you need to build. Well, when I started off my career in sales, in door-to-door sales. That's how I started off my career. And over a period of, I'm asking you guys to make 100 phone calls. My job was to meet 100 people, shake hands with them every single day. Meet 100 people, out of which 98 people will say no. Out of those 98, I'll have 5 people who will catch hold of my collar and throw me out of their office. There will be boards on their office which says, salesman and dog not allowed. Okay? And all that I used to do was, I used to think, I have to create such a rapport with this client that he has to offer a cup of tea for me. Tea that was 2 rupees cutting at that point of time. Okay, it was not about me going and spending that 2 rupees. It was only about me testing myself whether I can create that kind of a rapport with the customer. Whether he buys it or he doesn't buy, he offers a cup of tea for me. Aap chai loge? I know, then I've created a rapport. So you got to create that kind of a rapport with your candidate, where the only thing that goes on his mind is, well, this is the recruiter. And that's where you have sold your personality. You have sold your personality then. Am I making myself clear here? So when you take references, when you rehash, you got to do it with authority. Hello, 5 naam do na, please. I don't take favors. I'm sorry. I've got 5 more positions vacant. If you have somebody else whom you can recommend, I'll speak to them, and if I find them suitable enough, I can send them for an interview as well. There are 5 more positions vacant. You can help your friends for this particular job as well. Now that's the attitude with which I take references. And I need 5 names from you. I need 5 names from you. You can demand once you've created a rapport. You can demand. For some of the people who work on DMs, they say data finish ho gaya, data khatam ho gaya, wahi candidate se baat ho rahi hai. The data you have is not the data for calling. The data you have is the data for referencing. Every name you have, from each of these names, if you get 2 names more, you got double the data that you already had. And referencing is an art too. There are so many companies that only are working on referencing. You talk about a company like Amway. What is Amway? You guys know Amway? That's a company that purely works on referencing. Do they have a data sheet? They don't have a data sheet. Which is the other company? Herbalife. Only working on referencing. Only references. It's a huge tool, and if you're not using it, you're doing something real wrong. You have to take references from candidates, because not all names are available on Naukri or Times or in your data sheet. They might, or there are a lot of people who are outside the data. And once you take this reference, it's your personal data you have. It's your own personal data. You don't have any other data to refer to. You've got your own personal database that you're creating. And that data is not available to anybody else. It's your data that you're creating for yourself. Do referencing, rehash with every candidate. With every candidate, rehash. Fair enough? So you got our 5 steps. You got introduction, short story, presentation, price. Between price and close, there is a big gap. Okay, between price and close, there is a big gap, and that you have to fill with filler lines. You got to fill that with filler lines. I'll come over to what the filler lines is. We're going to take a 5-minute break. We got tea that's come up for ourselves here. We'll have a cup of tea. I'll have some water. Okay, the next 5 minutes we'll go over with the 4 factors. Okay. 4 factors of recruitment. Indifferent attitude, fear of loss, sense of urgency, great factor. Now, these 4 factors are abstract in nature. Okay, when I say abstract, I mean I can catch hold of this and say this is called a duster. Okay, I can say this is a marker. Okay, I can't catch hold of anything and say this is called indifferent attitude. This is called fear of loss. Okay, it's something that needs to be felt. Okay, it's a feeling. It's like hate or love. Okay, you can't catch hold of something, but you only can feel it. Okay, now these are 4 factors that we use while talking to candidates. Okay, we use them so that a candidate makes his decision in our favor. You want the candidate to make his decision in our favor, right? Yeah? Okay, you want him to say yes. So these 4 factors help the candidate say yes. Okay. Now the first factor is indifferent attitude. What does indifferent attitude say? Got a no care attitude, no compulsion. Yeah? So how do we use this with candidates? How do we use an indifferent attitude with candidates? We want a candidate to go for an interview, but we say, तेरी मर्जी, मैं जाना है तो जाओ. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? I'm sure it does. Okay. Well, these are certain things which you have been using in your day-to-day activities, but you're just not aware of it. You're just not aware of it. Okay. There are 2 classic examples I always have for telling this indifferent attitude. हम सब भाजी तरकारी लेने जाते हैं मार्केट में. We all go to buy vegetables. Yeah? टमाटो क्या भाव है? जाती है भाजी लेने. Okay. Now what you do when you go to a vegetable market, you go to the vendor and you ask him, भैया टमाटो कितने की दिए? Okay. And this guy says 30 रुपए का आधा और 40 का पूरा किलो. Okay, that's what this guy says. Yes or no? Now, what's the next thing we do? 1 किलो लूंगा, तो बताओ कितने का? 40 तुम बोल रहे हो. बोलते नहीं, हमारा तो खरीदी नहीं है, ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है. तो 30 रुपए में मुझे किलो चाहिए. Okay, he said नहीं, हमारे से नहीं होगा. And the next thing you do is, you walk away. You walk away. Okay, telling the vendor that okay, you don't want it, 30 में देते हो तो दो, नहीं तो मैं जा रहा हूँ. And what happens after that? Okay, this guy calls you from, आ जाओ बहन जी आके लेके जाओ. Okay, that's what this guy does. Okay, now you want the tomato, but you show him that you don't want. Okay, and you walk away. Sometimes it backfires also. Sometimes it backfires, okay, where you're saying नहीं 30 में देते हो, and you're walking away and you're waiting कि अभी ये बुलाएगा, okay, और ये बुलाता नहीं है, and then you go back and ठीक है 40 में दो. That's what you do at times. Okay, that's what you do. Okay, but that's indifferent attitude. And females, you guys can use indifferent attitude like crazy. You're best at it. Okay, it's simple. You tell your boyfriend, जा मैं तुम्हारे से बात नहीं करता. Okay, that's what you go and tell your boyfriend. No, I don't want to talk to you. You want to talk to him, but then you say, I don't want to talk to you. Okay, then you want him to come back to you. That's indifferent attitude. You want something to happen, but you show that you don't care. You show you don't care. Okay, so when you tell a candidate, hello, it's up to you whether you want to go for an interview or no. I'm not twisting your arm and saying go for an interview. Okay, if you don't see benefit in it, somebody else will. My job is to provide this job to somebody who wants it. Now I say this to a candidate where he doesn't feel pressurized. I say this so that he doesn't feel pressurized. Okay, कि यार ये तो बहुत मुझे धक्का मार रही है इंटरव्यू के लिए जाने के लिए. Okay, that's the time when you come back and say, you take a step back and say, it's up to you whether you want to go for an interview. Okay, I'm not forcing you to do so. That's your indifferent attitude. Okay, the next one is fear of loss. a feeling of losing something. Now, you have your candidates who say, schedule my interview day after, and the day after, or next week. You have candidates who say that, okay? And you want your candidate to go immediately. When you let your candidate know there are 3 or 4 positions vacant, and there are already 5 to 6 good candidates lined up, you are one amongst them. Now, if you don't go, you lose something. You lose the opportunity. Okay? That's the feeling that you give a candidate during your fear of loss. Sense of urgency, you're a busy person, okay, so is your candidate. Now, sense of urgency is it's widely mistaken. Now, it's more about setting priorities right. It's more about setting priorities right. Now, what do I mean by that? We all go to a mall to watch movies, right? If your movie show is 10 o'clock in the night, what time do you reach the mall? 10 बजे का अगर शो है, तो हम कितने बजे मॉल पहुंचते हैं? 9:30, 9:45, okay? 10 बजे डॉट तो हम नहीं पहुंचेंगे. We want to watch the movie right from Janagana Mana. From there is what we want to watch the movie, right? When we can set so much of a priority for a movie, should a candidate not set his priority for a job, for his career? He should set his priorities right, right? Now, if he's not setting those priorities right, you have to set those priorities for him. You have to let the candidate know, cancel all your appointments for your next day. This is a very important day for you. Be well groomed, be well dressed. Okay? Carry your updated resume, carry your documents if you can. Reach there 15 minutes prior. Every other appointment, however important it might be, cancel them, because this is the most important thing in your life tomorrow. Now, if you don't set that priority right for the candidate, your candidate, and that's the reason I also tell you, give him an appointment of a particular time. Don't give him a window. 10 से 12 के बीच में विंडो अगर तुम दोगे तो वो 10 से 12 के बीच में अपने सारे काम कर लेगा और 12 बजे का वो यहाँ का अपॉइंटमेंट पकड़ेगा और वो भी 12 का 1 बजेगा क्योंकि उसका और कोई काम में वो उलझ सा जाएगा. Okay, that's the reason I tell you, give him a particular time. This is the time you have to reach there 15 minutes prior. Set his priorities right. Everybody has got their priority list. Everybody. Okay, today for all of you sitting here, the top of your list is to be here. If that wasn't the case, you wouldn't be here. Top of the list would be something else. Today, at the top of your priority list, you got it that you got to spend your time here. Okay, similarly, you need to have on the top of the priority list, you need to have your candidate to go for an interview. If you are not setting the priority right for the candidate, he's got so many other things to do. And this is one amongst them. And if he gets time for it, he will do it. Time नहीं होता, ऐसा कभी होता नहीं है किसी के पास. It's only about how a person manages time and to what does he allot his time. So you have to take his time for the interview the next day. That's what you got to do. Okay? Now, sense of urgency, you're a busy person. You have a lot of candidates who say, I'm busy right now, call me later. It is genuinely possible that candidates are busy. Okay? And they're not able to take your call. It is genuinely possible. Okay? So you might as well let your candidate know, let me know which is a suitable time to call you. You call him back again and he still says, I'm still busy. Well, then all that you got to say is, you have my number, I've got an opportunity for you, give me a call. Give me a call. I'm not running behind you for this opportunity. You have this opportunity, call me back. Okay? I don't want to keep calling you back and pestering you. You can always do that. Okay? But in terms of sense of urgency, it's more about setting priorities right for your candidates. Okay? And greed factor, everybody else wants what everybody else has. What's greed factor? ट्रेनिंग किया है ना तुम लोगों का, अभिषेक ख्याति आके सब बात किए है ना इस बारे में. They've told something about this, no? कि अभी बहुत खाना heavy हो गया है. कि क्या? Open your mouth and speak. Tell me, what is the greed factor? What's greed factor, beta? Shivani, I'm looking at you. You know that, no? Okay, huh?
It's a human tendency. If I have something, so I definitely want that the other person will think that he should also grab that thing. So I think according to me, greed factor is that.
Okay. ठीक है, thanks for attempting. Toyota Innova, 10 lakh satisfied customers. That's an ad that comes in a newspaper. Okay. Now, what happens with this ad? When somebody looks at this ad and says 10 lakh satisfied customers, Toyota Innova. When somebody is thinking about buying a car, okay, he thinks that there are already so many people who are using this vehicle, okay, and they're satisfied enough is what the ad says. So if I want to buy a car, I'll buy this car. Okay, I'll buy this car. Even if there are 10 lakh idiots who have bought it, and I am the only Shana, but I will still become an idiot along with them because there are so many satisfied idiots. I want to be along with the crowd. I'll go along with them. Okay, now that's greed factor. In a lot of earlier days, in a building, if in one flat there used to be a washing machine that comes in, immediately that you will see a lot of other flats, there's washing machines. Okay, a new LED TV comes in somebody's home, okay, slowly and steadily there are LED TVs coming in everybody else's home also. And greed factor works awesome in females. Awesome. Especially when you go to weddings, okay, and when all these females meet and greet each other, okay, the first thing that they do is they go to, "Arey, ye kaan ka kidhar se liya?" Okay, and they go to that, and then they go back to their husbands and say, "Mere ko bhi aisa hi ek chahiye." Everybody else wants what everybody else has. That's greed factor. So if I let a person know, okay, that you're not the only person who's going for an interview here, there's so many other people scheduled. So many people like you. So many people like you have been selected. They've joined. What's wrong with you? Okay. Now this helps you to help the candidate make a decision in your favor. Now these are your 4 factors that you got to use in your filler lines. You got your introduction, short story, presentation, price, 4 factors and close. And that's where when you use your 4 factors, you do not have dead space. If you use 1 factor, you have 25% chances of closing the candidate. You use 2, you have 50. 3, mathematicians. You use all the 4 factors, you have 100% chances of closing the candidate. And I'm sure I'm telling you, it'll happen. The issue is you know it, but you're not using it. You know all this. This is not new to you. This has been told to you even so many times before. You know it, but you don't use it. You still pick up the phone and say, "I've got a job opportunity for you. Are you interested?" Don't do that. Catch yourself. Or if the person sitting next to you says so, catch hold of that person by the ear and say, "What are you doing?" Recruitment is the most easiest of businesses. Okay? It's fun if you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, it's fun. It's horrendous if you don't know what the hell is going on. You do not know. मैं सबको कॉल करूँ, कोई नहीं जा रहा इंटरव्यू को, कोई हाँ भी नहीं बोल रहा, ये हो क्या रहा है मेरे साथ लाइफ में? जब तुम नहीं जानते कि क्या हो रहा है तो ये होगा। मैं तो इतना मेहनत कर रहा हूं, सुबह से शाम 80 फोन कॉल कर दिया, एक ने भी हाँ नहीं बोला। एक ने बोला सोच के बताता हूं, तो मैंने उसको हाँ कर दिया। घर जाते जाते कैसे वो बोर्ड पे मत बताऊं मैं, मेरे 2 ही लाइनअप है। A candidate says, let me think about it, I'll get back to you. Okay, one more lineup. And you know for yourself, that guy is not going to be confirmed tomorrow. For yourself, you know. कभी कभार फोन भी नहीं करते, उसको फायदा ही नहीं है फोन करके। And I know this because I've been there. Okay, all your tricks of the trade, well, I know it already. It's only going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt anybody else. It's only going to hurt you. Another thing, today people are very comfortable. Okay, this sometimes irritates me. People are very comfortable when the next day during confirmations, I have done 10 lineups and I have got 4 people who have confirmed. All other 6 are NRC. This is a very nice word everybody has got, NRC. NRC is, what is NRC? Not receiving calls. His NRC है. Sir, वो मेरे 6 NRC है. अरे कैसे NRC है? How? And why are you accepting it? There is a candidate to whom you have spoken, you've used your 5 steps, you use your 4 factors, this guy had said yes, that tomorrow I'm going for an interview, it's an opportunity for him, and the next day he doesn't pick up your call. It's like a slap on your face. And we are so accustomed, that's how you are. 10 में से 6 ना बोले, 4 जा रहे हैं, और 4 जा रहे हैं बोल के भी जाते हैं 2. You got 4 confirmations and only 2 go. बाकी 2 NRC. Don't do this. Don't do this. Sometimes I like it in the office when somebody yells and screams at the candidate. बोला था ना जाएगा, तो क्यों नहीं गया? Good, I'm happy. I'm happy if you do that. Take it personally. You got to take it personally. When a candidate commits something, when he says yes, there is no reason why he should say no. There's no reason. Yes, there are certain common reasons that people have. Accident हो गया, bike से गिर गया, okay, grandfather expired. These are certain common reasons you will get. Understand? ठीक है, okay. It's a no. Some people are not able to say no over the face. Okay, it's a polite way of saying no. No, I'm not interested, I can't go. Understand, forget it. Okay, but if you are about to have confirmations, if you are lining up 10 candidates, you should have 8 people saying yes the next day and going. That's how you improve as a recruiter. That's how you improve. You do 10 lineups, 10 go, well, that's a 100% probability. Okay, but out of 10, you need to have 8 people who go for an interview. That's how you get better as a recruiter. That's how you know I am getting better. Then is what we get into our next step. Okay, how do you analyze yourself as a recruiter, whether how well or how good or bad recruiter you are? Let me show this to you. My first thing is line up. I need to line up candidates for an interview. That's my first job. Yeah? I know I am doing 10 lineups a day. And 10 is just a benchmark that I have set. Nobody has stopped anybody from doing 18, 20, 30. I am talking about 10. Now, out of 10 lineups, let's say we talk about confirmations. Out of 10 lineups, I have 8 confirmations. Okay? Now let's talk about selected people who go for an interview. At the end of the day, why are we sending candidates for an interview? We want them to get selected. Out of this, I have got 3 selects. Okay? Now I know as far as this recruiter is concerned, the lineups are good, confirmations are good, and the quality of candidates are good as well. If somebody has 10 lineups, out of which there are 2 confirmations, out of which there is 1 select. Now what do I talk about this recruiter? What do I analyze about this recruiter? That this recruiter is talking to a lot of candidates who are not interested for the job. And जो interested है वो select हो गया. Okay? So where does this recruiter has to work more on is working more on, I'm sorry, this is my handwriting. You got to work more on buying signs, identifying which candidate is interested and which candidate is not. Somebody who just does 5, all 5 are confirmed and no selects. This candidate or this recruiter is good in lining up the right kind of candidates or setting priorities right for the candidates, but this recruiter has to work more on quality. Okay? Somebody who does 10, confirmations are 5, selects are 0. Or somebody who does 10, confirmations are 10, selects are 0. You understand where you need work, where you need to focus on improvement. This is where you need to improve. Fair enough? Understood? Okay? Now, this is the impulse curve that I just mentioned, where introduction, short story, presentation, price, you have your filler lines, close and rehash. This is what your impulse curve is, where impulse keeps going high. Impulse is high on price. After price, impulse starts going down. You close and then you rehash. Okay? Now, I mentioned something about buying signs here. Just a quick one on buying signs. Now, what are buying signs? What are buying signs? Huh? What? What is it? Okay, it's not only positive signs shown, partly right. Buying signs are signs that are given to you by candidates. Okay, and they show how interested or uninterested they are for the profile that you're working on. Okay, now a simple example for buying signs is you traveling by a local train. Okay, when you travel by a local train and you get into the compartment, okay, there are 4 people sitting here and there are 4 people sitting here. Yeah? And we are standing somewhere in between. Right? Okay, now one person who's sitting there, okay, he takes his specs, he closes it, he puts the specs in the box, he puts the box in the bag, he closes newspaper. Okay, now what comes into our mind? ये अभी उतरने वाला है, जगह पकड़ो. Okay, he's going to get up. I got to catch. He hasn't spoken anything to you. He hasn't said anything. But only by his actions, you understand that this guy is going to get up now. I got to catch a seat. Now that's identifying a buying sign. Okay, we are very comfortable sending an SMS to the candidate. Very comfortable. Address क्या है? Message कर दूंगा आपको. शाम तक आपको message आ जाएगा. Address कहाँ पर है? कितने बजे आपको पहुँचना है? Instead, try this. Tell the candidate, please take down the address, take a pen and a paper, and I'll just dictate it to you. Okay? Now this guy will say, आप address message कर दो ना यार. I said, I don't have SMS service on my phone. Okay, so I have to dictate it to you. Please take down the address. Please write it down. Now if this guy is running helter-skelter, even when we go to a bank and we don't have a pen, we borrow a pen from someone. Okay? If there's something so important that we need to write, we write it even behind a bus ticket. Okay? If this guy says, hold on, he goes, gets a pen, does whatever, you know, this guy is serious enough. After you have dictated the address, ask him to read it out. Because there are a lot of smart asses there. You'll have people saying, ha 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 ha, and there's not written nothing over there. So after you dictate it, ask him to repeat it. You know there's a buying sign. Okay? Ask your candidate to call you back next morning just before they reach the office, and you tell them, I'm about to give you interview tips. So give me a call back, okay, by evening or so, or by tomorrow morning. Okay, let me give you some interview tips. This guy calls you back and you know. And the best way for you to identify is ask for the resume. Ask for the resume. We can always download this resume from Times Jobs. It's not that we do not have the resume with us. But the moment you ask for the resume, you got to tell this guy, I need your resume in the next 10 to 15 minutes. I need to forward it to the line manager there. Okay, so forward me your updated resume, and then I can take it further. Okay? You get a message, you get a resume in 5 minutes. What do you know? You know this guy is interested. Okay? Even if you get a resume by evening, it's fine. And I would tell you, consider all the resumes that have come to you as confirmed candidates or as your lineups. Everything else is a waste. You will have reasons like, आज हमारे area में current नहीं है, मेरे पास internet connection नहीं है. You will have a lot of reasons for, if somebody doesn't want to do something, you will find reasons for it. But if somebody wants to do something, he will do whatever it takes to get it done. Everybody's got a smartphone today. Most of them have your resumes on their smartphones. Okay? The best way to identify whether a candidate is interested or no is his resume. Get his resume to you. Prepare a data bank for yourself. Not an issue at all. You don't want the resume, the moment it comes, delete it. The only reason I want the resume is because I want to know how interested he is. That's it. Understood? Next we talk about the HR funnel. Okay? It's not rocket science, it's law of averages. The ratio is 10:1. I speak to 10 people, 9 will say no, 1 will say yes. Okay? 10 candidates who go for interview, 9 might get rejected, 1 will get selected. Okay? It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. The most important thing that we forget to do is, or we feel hesitant to do, is ask. We don't ask at all. Think about it, if you are standing in a queue, a long queue, for buying your local ticket, train ticket, okay? And you need to reach somewhere fast. Now, you have two options, okay? One, stand at the end of the queue, or second, go to the person standing in front and say, can you please buy me my ticket? I'm in a hurry. I'm in a hurry. Now, the second option is like, oh my God, how do I do it? मैं वहाँ जाऊँगा टिकट पूछने को किसी से बोलोगे सब जाओ पीछे कर दो सब जाके पीछे कर दो बोलेंगे ऐसे कैसे मैं करूँगा But if you weigh the options, if I go to the person first, I have a chance of getting my ticket fast. But if I don't go there, I have to spend another half an hour standing on the queue. I might as well ask. Even if it's a no, I'll ask. जाता क्या है मेरा पूछने में? But I get hesitant. I don't ask. I don't speak when it's required. And I spend another half an hour standing in the queue there. I have to speak to every candidate that comes my way. Every candidate. Okay? HR funnel, law of averages. You've seen building constructions happening. Okay? There are wire meshes there where they put the sand from one side, the coarse sand comes on this, and the fine sand goes on the other side. You guys seen that? Now, if I take a little bit of sand in my hand and I put it on that filter, what are the chances that something will fall on the other side? It's very less. It's very less. But if I take a bucket and I pour sand into it, I know something's going to fall on the other side. For sure. It's as simple as that. I call 10 candidates a day. what are the chances that out of them, how many will say yes to me? Even if they have said yes, how many will go for an interview? Even if they go for an interview, how many will get selected? I improve my chances of selections by sending more candidates. That's simple law of averages. You stand on the road and call a rickshaw, 9 might say no, 1 will say yes. Law of averages works everywhere. I go and tell I love you to 10 girls, 9 will say no, 1 will say yes, sure. Law of averages works everywhere. So if I want better results, I need to have more people going. It's a people's business. And India mein people koi kami nahi hai. We've got good amount of population. And we are in the people's business. Line up more number of candidates, call more number of people. You know this exercise? We know the exercise, right? Do we do it? Daily? Every day? Regularly? क्या मुंडी ला रही है? 80 हुए हैं? एक महीने में 2 बार 75 तक हुआ है. हाँ? जहां 75 हुआ वहां 80 नहीं हो सकता. जहां 75 हुआ वहां 80 तो हो ही सकता है. 2 times. Anybody else who's tried this? This is every candidate, every person to whom I say hello, and the person says hello back. Okay? I put this line. Every person I speak to, I draw a line. And at the end of the day, I want to see how many people I have spoken to. If this is 80, you will be on 8 lineups. You call 10 people and all 10 say no, means what? You speak to 10 people and all 10 say no. Means the next 10 you will speak to, 2 will say yes. You call 20 and all 20 say no, means the next 10 you speak to, 3 will say yes. Law of averages is. Okay? So the more number of no's equals more number of yeses. And you got to put yourself into a little bit of a reverse psychology. Okay? Now what's reverse psychology? Now when people say yes and when candidates get selected, your smile goes from ear to ear. Okay? When you hold that bell in your hand, so many people who are using this vehicle, okay, and they're satisfied enough is what the ad says. So if I want to buy a car, I'll buy this car. Okay, I'll buy this car. Even if there are 10 lakh idiots who have bought it and I am the only Shana, but I will still become an idiot along with them because there are so many satisfied idiots. I want to be along with the crowd. I'll go along with them. Okay, now that's greed factor. In a lot of earlier days, in a building, if in one flat there used to be a washing machine that comes in, immediately you will see a lot of other flats, there's washing machines. Okay, a new LED TV comes in somebody's home, okay, slowly and steadily there are LED TVs coming in everybody else's home also. And greed factor works awesome in females. Awesome. Especially when you go to weddings. Okay, and when all these females meet and greet each other, okay, the first thing that they do is they go, "Arey, ye kaan ka kidhar se liya?" Okay, and they go to that, and then they go back to their husbands and say, "Mere ko bhi aisa hi ek chahiye." Everybody else wants what everybody else has. That's greed factor. So if I let a person know, okay, that you're not the only person who's going for an interview here, there's so many other people scheduled, so many people like you, so many people like you have been selected, they've joined. What's wrong with you? Okay, now this helps you to help the candidate make a decision in your favor. Now these are your 4 factors that you got to use in your filler lines. You got your introduction, short story, presentation, price, 4 factors, and close. And that's where, when you use your 4 factors, you do not have dead space. If you use 1 factor, you have 25% chances of closing the candidate. You use 2, you have 50. 3, mathematicians. You use all the 4 factors, you have 100% chances of closing the candidate. And I'm sure I'm telling you, it'll happen. The issue is you know it, but you're not using it. You know all this. This is not new to you. This has been told to you even so many times before. You know it, but you don't use it. You still pick up the phone and say, I've got a job opportunity for you. Are you interested? Don't do that. Catch yourself. Or if the person sitting next to you says so, catch hold of that person by the ear and say, what are you doing? Recruitment is the most easiest of businesses. Okay? It's fun if you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, it's fun. It's horrendous if you don't know what the hell is going on. You do not know. मैं सबको कॉल करूँ, कोई नहीं जा रहा इंटरव्यू को, कोई हाँ भी नहीं बोल रहा, ये हो क्या रहा है मेरे साथ लाइफ में? जब तुम नहीं जानते कि क्या हो रहा है, तो ये होगा. मैं तो इतना मेहनत कर रहा हूं, सुबह से शाम 80 फोन कॉल कर दिया, एक ने भी हाँ नहीं बोला. एक ने बोला सोच के बताता हूं, तो मैंने उसको हाँ कर दिया. घर जाते जाते कैसे वो बोर्ड पे मत बताऊं मैं, मेरे 2 ही लाइनअप है. A candidate says, let me think about it, I'll get back to you. Okay, 1 more lineup. And you know for yourself, that guy is not going to be confirmed tomorrow. For yourself, you know. कभी कभार फोन भी नहीं करते, उसको फायदा ही नहीं है फोन करके. And I know this because I've been there. Okay? All your tricks of the trade, well, I know it already. It's only going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt anybody else. It's only going to hurt you. Another thing, today people are very comfortable. Okay, this sometimes irritates me. People are very comfortable when the next day during confirmations, I have done 10 lineups and I have got 4 people who have confirmed. All other 6 are NRC. This is a very nice word everybody has got, NRC. NRC is, what is NRC? Not receiving calls. His NRC है. सर वो मेरे 6 NRC है. अरे कैसे NRC है? How? And why are you accepting it? There is a candidate to whom you have spoken. You've used your 5 steps, you use your 4 factors. This guy had said yes, that tomorrow I'm going for an interview. It's an opportunity for him, and the next day he doesn't pick up your call. It's like a slap on your face. And we are so accustomed. That's how you are. 10 में से 6 ना बोले, 4 जा रहे हैं. और 4 जा रहे हैं, बोल के भी जाते हैं 2. You got 4 confirmations and only 2 go. बाकी 2 NRC. Don't do this. Don't do this. Sometimes I like it in the office when somebody yells and screams at the candidate. बोला था ना जाएगा, तो क्यों नहीं गया? Good, I'm happy. I'm happy if you do that. Take it personally. You got to take it personally. When a candidate commits something, when he says yes, there is no reason why he should say no. There's no reason. Yes, there are certain common reasons that people have. Accident हो गया, bike से गिर गया, okay, grandfather expired. These are certain common reasons you will get. Understand? ठीक है, okay. It's a no. Some people are not able to say no over the face. Okay? It's a polite way of saying no. No, I'm not interested, I can't go. Understand, forget it. Okay? But if you are about to have confirmations, if you are lining up 10 candidates, you should have 8 people saying yes the next day and going. That's how you improve as a recruiter. That's how you improve. You do 10 lineups, 10 go, well, that's a 100% probability. Okay, but out of 10, you need to have 8 people who go for an interview. That's how you get better as a recruiter. That's how you know I am getting better. Then is what we get into our next step. Okay, how do you analyze yourself as a recruiter, whether how well or how good or bad recruiter you are? Let me show this to you. My first thing is line up. I need to line up candidates for an interview. That's my first job. Yeah? I know I am doing 10 lineups a day. And 10 is just a benchmark that I have set. Nobody has stopped anybody from doing 18, 20, 30. I am talking about 10. Now, out of 10 lineups, let's say we talk about confirmations. Out of 10 lineups, I have 8 confirmations. Okay? Now let's talk about selected people who go for an interview. At the end of the day, why are we sending candidates for an interview? We want them to get selected. Out of this, I have got 3 selects. Okay? Now I know as far as this recruiter is concerned, the lineups are good, confirmations are good, and the quality of candidates are good as well. If somebody has 10 lineups, out of which there are 2 confirmations, out of which there is 1 select. Now what do I talk about this recruiter? What do I analyze about this recruiter? That this recruiter is talking to a lot of candidates who are not interested for the job. And jo interested hai wo select ho gaya. Okay? So where does this recruiter has to work more on is working more on, I'm sorry, this is my handwriting. You got to work more on buying signs, identifying which candidate is interested and which candidate is not. Somebody who just does 5, all 5 are confirmed and no selects. This candidate or this recruiter is good in lining up the right kind of candidates or setting priorities right for the candidates, but this recruiter has to work more on quality. Okay? Somebody who does 10, confirmations are 5, selects are 0. Or somebody who does 10, confirmations are 10, selects are 0. You understand where you need work, where you need to focus on improvement. This is where you need to improve. Fair enough? Understood? Okay? Now, this is the impulse curve that I just mentioned, where introduction, short story, presentation, price, you have your filler lines, close and rehash. This is what your impulse curve is, where impulse keeps going high. Impulse is high on price. After price, impulse starts going down. You close and then you rehash. Okay? Now, I mentioned something about buying signs here. Just a quick one on buying signs. Now, what are buying signs? What are buying signs? Huh? What? What is it? Okay, it's not only positive signs shown, partly right. Buying signs are signs that are given to you by candidates. Okay, and they show how interested or uninterested they are for the profile that you're working on. Okay, now A simple example for buying signs is you traveling by a local train. Okay? When you travel by a local train and you get into the compartment, okay, there are 4 people sitting here and there are 4 people sitting here. Yeah? And we are standing somewhere in between. Right? Okay, now one person who's sitting there, okay, he takes his specs, he closes it, he puts the specs in the box, he puts the box in the bag, he closes newspaper. Okay, now what comes into our mind? He abhi utarne wala hai, jagah pakdo. Okay, he's going to get up. I got to catch. He hasn't spoken anything to you. He hasn't said anything. But only by his actions, you understand that this guy is going to get up now. The seat. Now that's identifying a buying sign. Okay, we are very comfortable sending an SMS to the candidate. Very comfortable. Address क्या है? Message कर दूंगा आपको. शाम तक आपको message आ जाएगा. Address कहाँ पर है? कितने बजे आपको पहुँचना है? Instead, try this. Tell the candidate, please take down the address. Take a pen and a paper, and I'll just dictate it to you. Okay. Now this guy will say, "आप address message कर दो ना यार." I said, "I don't have SMS service on my phone. Okay, so I have to dictate it to you. Please take down the address. Please write it down." Now, if this guy is running helter-skelter, even when we go to a bank and we don't have a pen, we borrow a pen from someone. Okay, if there's something so important that we need to write, we write it even behind a bus ticket. Okay, if this guy says, "Hold on," he goes, gets a pen, does whatever, you know this guy is serious enough. After you have dictated the address, ask him to read it out. Because there are a lot of smart asses there. You'll have people saying, "Ha ha 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 ha," and there's not written nothing over there. So after you dictate it, ask him to repeat it. You know there's a buying sign. Okay? Ask your candidate to call you back next morning just before they reach the office, and you tell them, "I'm about to give you interview tips. So give me a call back, okay, by evening or so, or by tomorrow morning. Okay, let me give you some interview tips." This guy calls you back and you know. And the best way for you to identify is ask for the resume. Ask for the resume. We can always download this resume from Times Jobs. It's not that we do not have the resume with us. But the moment you ask for the resume, you got to tell this guy, "I need your resume in the next 10 to 15 minutes. I need to forward it to the line manager there. Okay, so forward me your updated resume, and then I can take it further." Okay, you get a message, you get a resume in 5 minutes. What do you know? You know this guy is interested. Okay, even if you get a resume by evening, it's fine. And I would tell you, consider all the resumes that have come to you as confirmed candidates or as your lineups. Everything else is a waste. You will have reasons like, "आज हमारे area में current नहीं है, मेरे पास internet connection नहीं है." You will have a lot of reasons for, if somebody doesn't want to do something, you will find reasons for it. But if somebody wants to do something, he will do whatever it takes to get it done. Everybody's got a smartphone today. Most of them have your resumes on their smartphones. Okay? The best way to identify whether a candidate is interested or no is his resume. Get his resume to you. Prepare a data bank for yourself. Not an issue at all. You don't want the resume, the moment it comes, delete it. The only reason I want the resume is because I want to know how interested he is. That's it. Understood? Next we talk about the HR funnel. Okay? It's not rocket science, it's law of averages. The ratio is 10:1. I speak to 10 people, 9 will say no, 1 will say yes. Okay? 10 candidates who go for interview, 9 might get rejected, 1 will get selected. Okay? It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. The most important thing that we forget to do is, or we feel hesitant to do, is ask. We don't ask at all. Think about it, if you are standing in a queue, a long queue for buying your local ticket, train ticket, okay, and you need to reach somewhere fast. Now, you have 2 options, okay. One, stand at the end of the queue, or second, Go to the person standing in front and say, can you please buy me my ticket? I'm in a hurry. I'm in a hurry. Now, the second option is like, oh my God, how do I do it? मैं वहाँ जाऊँगा टिकट पूछने को किसी से बोलूँगा सब जाओ पीछे खड़े रहो सब जाके पीछे खड़े रहो बोलेंगे ऐसे कैसे मैं करूँगा But if you weigh the options, if I go to the person first, I have a chance of getting my ticket fast. But if I don't go there, I have to spend another half an hour standing on the queue. I might as well ask. Even if it's a no, I'll ask. Jata kya hai mera puchne mein? But I get hesitant. I don't ask. I don't speak when it's required. And I spend another half an hour standing in the queue there. I have to speak to every candidate that comes my way. Every candidate. Okay? HR funnel, law of averages. You've seen building constructions happening. Okay? There are wire meshes there where they put the sand from one side, the coarse sand comes on this, and the fine sand goes on the other side. You guys seen that? Now, if I take a little bit of sand in my hand and I put it on that filter, what are the chances that something will fall on the other side? It's very less. It's very less. But if I take a bucket and I pour sand into it, I know something's going to fall on the other side. For sure. It's as simple as that. I call 10 candidates a day. What are the chances that out of them, how many will say yes to me? Even if they have said yes, how many will go for an interview? Even if they go for an interview, how many will get selected? I improve my chances of selections by sending more candidates. That's simple law of averages. You stand on the road and call a rickshaw, 9 might say no, 1 will say yes. Law of averages works everywhere. I go and tell I love you to 10 girls, 9 will say no, 1 will say yes, sure. Law of averages works everywhere. So if I want better results, I need to have more people going. It's a people's business. And India mein people koi kami nahi hai. We've got good amount of population. And we are in the people's business. Line up more number of candidates, call more number of people. You know this exercise? You know the exercise, right? Do we do it? Daily? Every day? Regularly? क्या मुंडी ला रही है? 80 हुए हैं? एक महीने में 2 बार 75 तक हुआ है. हाँ? जहां 75 हुआ वहां 80 नहीं हो सकता. जहां 75 हुआ वहां 80 तो हो ही सकता है. 2 times. Anybody else who's tried this? This is every candidate, every person to whom I say hello, and the person says hello back. Okay? I put this line. Every person I speak to, I draw a line. And at the end of the day, I want to see how many people I have spoken to. If this is 80, you'll be on 8 lineups. You call 10 people and all 10 say no, means what? You speak to 10 people and all 10 say no. Means the next 10 you will speak to, 2 will say yes. You call 20 and all 20 say no, means the next 10 you speak to, 3 will say yes. Law of averages is. Okay? So the more number of no's equals more number of yeses. And you got to put yourself into a little bit of a reverse psychology. Okay? Now what's reverse psychology? Now when people say yes and when candidates get selected, your smile goes from ear to ear. Okay? When you hold that bell in your hand and start working the okay, your excitement knows no bounds. Okay, your attitude is above the roof. candidate says no, okay, well, you keep sinking. Somewhere you keep sinking. The next candidate you speak to, your excitement level goes low. And most of the time, once you have 15 to 20 candidates who have said no, your 21st candidate, your attitude is, abhi ye bhi na hi bolne wala hai, baat to kar lo isse. That becomes your attitude. Okay? And your attitude goes 10 feet below the ground. Try using reverse psychology. Okay? When your candidate gets selected, be sad. कौन सी बड़ी बात है? इतने सारे बात किए, एक होना ही था सेलेक्ट. What's the big deal? नहीं हुआ, एक हो गया सेलेक्ट, चले घंटी. And when you hear no's, get excited with everything. Yes, what? Yes, I got it. Build up bank balance, and negatives build up attitude, and both are important for our business. We need the right attitude, and yes, we need our bank balance too. So we have more number of points, we have more amount of incentives, we make money with positives. With negatives, we build up attitude, and both are very important. Okay, and it's a part and parcel of our business. And if you don't have any no's, there's no fun in the business as well. तुम जिससे भी बात करो सब हाँ ही बोल रहे तो क्या मजा आएगा? सभी हाँ बोल रहे हैं. होता है कभी ऐसे? अगर हो गया तो समझो, तुम जिससे भी बात करो सब बोलते हैं हाँ मैं जा रहा हूँ इंटरव्यू के लिए. अच्छा आपका ही कॉल, वेट ही कर रहा था मैं आपके कॉल का, जा रहा हूँ ना मैं. ये तो होने से रहा. Okay, so whatever we have is what we got to work with, and we got to mold and blend ourselves according to it. Clear? Go to the next slide. Speaking in English. Speaking in English is not necessarily a good communication skill. A person can communicate in any language that he desires, but if he's able to communicate well, that's the communication skill that I'm talking about. For companies like ECW that you work for, they work for a US process and they require people who can speak in English. That's a different question altogether. Okay, but for others, when you talk about good communication skills, it's about how well this guy can communicate. Okay? CDC. I had a question from someone, I don't remember who, I think it was you. कैंडिडेट का 4 लाख का सीटीसी है, वो ना ही नहीं बोल रहा, वो हाँ बोल ही नहीं रहा है 2.5 लाख के लिए, मैं क्या करूं? अरे he is already on a 4 lakh CTC, why will he say yes for a 2.5 lakhs? Yes or no? Okay, so CTC. Well, everybody looks for upgradation in their lifestyle. Okay, nobody says कि आज मैं गाड़ी हूँ, कल मैं बाइक चलाऊंगा, ये कोई नहीं कहता. Okay, everybody is looking for something further. So we got to see what the CTC is. Vicinity to the job location. That's another important profile, important thing. And the last one is need and priority. And if you have a check mark on all 5, you've got your ideal candidate. If you have a check mark for all 5, you have your ideal candidate. So keep this in front of you, and when you talk to a candidate, you put a score in front of that candidate. The score of this candidate is 4 by 5, or 3 by 5, or 5 by 5. Now think about this, okay? How easy this business can become. We end up complicating it too much. In the whole 8 hours that I work, right from 10 to 7 in the morning, okay? I work the full 8 hours, and my job is to get 2 good candidates. I'm not saying lineups, I'm not saying anything. You guys can by now understand who is a good candidate. Okay, while speaking to the candidate, you know, yaar ye banda acha hai. And I give my full energy into that particular call. I make sure the candidate is convinced, and this guy also sent me his CV in the next 5 minutes, and I know this is my right candidate. You got to get into a situation where you say, I bet my salary on this guy will get selected. I bet. मुझे इसको confirm करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. ओके वो खुद ब खुद पहुंच जाएगा इंटरव्यू के लिए और ये सेलेक्ट हो जाएगा. That's when you know you are able to read candidates well. All that you got to do is 2 good candidates in a day, in 8 hours, where you yourself feel कि ये मेरे अच्छे candidates हैं. And to those good candidates, highlight them in blue, let's say. Everybody does your MIS, right? On your MIS, highlight your good candidates in blue. इनको मैंने blue में कर दिया और मुझे दिन में सिर्फ 2 good candidates चाहिए. Those are not 2 good candidates that Ishita says are good, okay? Or your team leader or whoever says it's good. You should feel they are good candidates. You are the only person who can judge that because you are the person speaking to the candidate. 2 good candidates is what you got to search. Good. In a month, you have 50 good candidates. If 50 good candidates go for an interview, which you feel are good, how many candidates do you think can get selected? जो दिन में हम जितना भी लाइनअप करते हैं, जो भी करते हैं, उसमें से 2 जो हम खुद हाईलाइट करते हैं कि ये 2 बढ़िया कैंडिडेट्स हैं. आज के दिन का मेरे सबसे बेस्ट 2 कैंडिडेट जो हैं वो ये हैं. और ऐसे 2 कैंडिडेट पूरे दिन में अगर मैंने ढूंढ लिया और महीने में मैंने 50 कर लिया, 50 में से मेरे कितने कैंडिडेट सिलेक्ट हो सकते हैं तुम बताओ? हाउ मेनी? 5, 10? Because they are all my good candidates. They are not people जिसके हम crossing our fingers है, गया तो अच्छा इंटरव्यू के लिए. We are not doing that. We know this guy will go and we know this guy has got the skills and we know he can crack the interview. And if we're talking 5, 10 candidates, we are talking 10, 20 points here per head. That's what we can do. It's all about searching those 2 good candidates in 8 hours. How difficult is that? How difficult is it to work for all the 8 hours and find 2 people? Not that difficult. Not that difficult at all. We spend so much time with a lot of other things that these are certain things that we end up forgetting or not implementing. Today on, all your good candidates, mark them in blue. And let's fight over candidates. We're not fighting over candidates at all. We are not fighting over candidates. When I'm saying fighting over candidates, I mean, if a candidate gets rejected, and if that candidate is your blue candidate, then you got to come back and say, why is this guy rejected? He's a good guy. There are so many instances where we have fought with the HR, done a second round of the candidate and got the candidate selected. Here we are accepting कि हाँ ये reject, ये select. Why are you accepting it? If you feel a candidate is good, you have all the rights to ask. He's a good candidate. क्यों reject हुआ ये? We'll go back to the HR. We'll ask again. We'll reschedule the candidate for another round of interview. At the end of the day, it's all your effort, right? And we don't want efforts to go futile. We don't want them to go futile. Fight, ask. He's a good candidate. He's gone. He's done. He comes under all the 5. No reason why he shouldn't be selected. Make sense? Okay. So whatever lineups we do, we look for 2 blue candidates from today on. 2 good candidates. Done? Go to the next one. All right. We all know what the point structure is. Everybody does? Less than 2 lakhs is 1 point. 2 to 4, 2 points. 4 to 7, 3. 7 plus is 4 points. Incentive structure. दूर की बात है नहीं, ये सब अभी क्यों दिखा रहे हो हमको? This is what the incentive structure that we have. Okay, we had Kanchan last month, last month I guess. You did what, 10 points? Okay, 10 points is what Kanchan did alone. Okay, she got herself confirmed, she became a team leader. Okay, by just doing 10 points in a month. Okay, I do not want to cook up stories. Well, I want to have people who are here, who have done it amongst you, okay, to make you believe. Now, I'm just looking for someone who will say, I'll do a 20 points this month. And you might think, what is this guy talking about? 20 points? He's talking about the whole year. I just need one person to do it so that everybody else believes it's possible. Now, I do not know who that person is, whether that person is sitting here or is in any other office sitting and working currently, or if he's going to come to me and come to me for an interview tomorrow. I do not know who that person is, but I need a game changer. I need a person who says, I'll take it up. Okay? Incentives, it's up to you how much you want to make. I haven't stopped anybody. Did I tell you 10 point uske upar mat kar kuch? तूने किया नहीं वो अलग बात है. Okay? It's up to you how much money you want to make. It's completely up to you. We come to the growth structure. Performance bonus. Everybody's aware what performance bonus is? Yes? No? How do I grow? I'm an HR executive today. I want to grow. Do I? Okay, I want to grow. Now, how do I grow in the company? Your growth is in your hands. Nobody knocks my cabin door and asks me, can I get a promotion? Everybody knows what you have to do to become or to grow or go to the next level. You start working as an HR executive, okay? You learn all the initial aspects of HR, calling, confirming, and doing all that. Once you start getting consistent, okay? The month you do 10 points, the month you do 10 points, you get a promotion to a team leader, okay? Now, as a team leader, you get another aspect of training and development. You start building up a team. You start having people in your team. You start training them, okay? And you have your people doing points, okay? Once you have a team of 10 people who are consistent enough in doing points, you get a promotion to an assistant manager. Office administration is taught to you here as an assistant manager. Okay? Your calling stops. You don't have to make any further phone calls. You don't have to make any further phone calls. No candidates, no nothing. Okay? You have to manage your team and make sure that your team generates points. Post which is what you become a manager. You manage the office. From here to here, can take you 8 to 12 months. Could be more, could be less, depending upon your performance. And there is no vintage as a criteria. When I say vintage as a criteria, I mean if a person's working in the company for the last 6 months, doesn't mean that that person will become a team leader first and then you become a team leader. If you perform better, faster, you grow faster. Simple. It's as simple as that. We are purely a performance-driven company. Purely a performance-driven company. I cannot have a performer and an underperformer on the same level. A performer has to get more. In terms of incentives, okay, for people who've been outside, you can confirm there is no other company that provides incentives the way we do. No other company. Ask any other company what is the growth structure that they have. And people have, okay, you're an HR executive, then you work for 6 months or 1 year, then you become a senior executive, okay, and then you become a team lead, and then it'll take a good 5-year plan. Here it's in your hands. It's in your hands when you want to grow. Fair enough? Done? That's done with our... I finished this book. Okay? Now, what I want to discuss... 4. Okay. I want to discuss the DM position. Okay? With Edelweiss, we are preferred partners. Now, when I say preferred partners, I mean, first of all, there's nobody else apart from Waays Solutions who does DMs the way we do. The kind of numbers that we deliver month on month, there's no other person or no other company that does that with them. Okay? If we do 50 DMs a month, the second best company does 12, 13. That's the difference with which we are number one with them. Okay? And I'm sure you guys know, I've discussed with the owners as well over here in terms of what we're looking at doing for DMs this month. Okay? And I want certain things to be right for you guys when you talk to candidates for DMs. Okay? So, we're done with this, we can close this. So, let me explain to you guys, understand what the profile is, what kind of people are you talking to, okay, and how do you need to manage negatives. Okay? Now, who can explain the DM profile to me? DM. So many volunteers. Who can explain the DM profile? Quick. पता है किसी को DM profile? बात करते हैं हम candidates को उसके बारे में? माइक तो तेरे हाथ नहीं है बेटा.
The main profile of development manager is to recruit 5 to 6 people of agent in their team, and that agents will bring business for them.
Okay. Now I want to hear a DM pitch. I want to hear a DM pitch. When you talk to a DM or when you talk to a prospective candidate, what do you say? I want to hear a pitch. Who all have done DMs just by show of hands? DMs किस किसने किया है अब तक? हाथ ऊपर, ऐसे नहीं. सब हाथ ऊपर, मुंडी नीचे, सबका. मुझे मत देखो, मैं नहीं कह रहा कुछ. So what's so difficult for you guys to say what a DM is? Everybody is on the same boat, ठीक है ना? Everybody is on the same boat. Nobody is sailing up there. Okay? So I want you guys to understand. This is a session, okay, for you guys to understand what this position is and how to pitch it right. ठीक है? कंचन. और किससे सुन सकते हैं? 10 पॉइंटर से नहीं सुनेंगे तो. बोलो बेटा, गिव मी द DM pitch. जो मैं यहाँ पर गला फाड़ फाड़ के मैं 5 स्टेप्स सब सिखाया, किधर गया वो सब? हेलो कंचन, हाउ आर यू? इतना तो अच्छा था. उसके आगे क्या? डेवलपमेंट मैनेजर के पोस्ट के लिए आपको 2.5 लाख रुपए का पैकेज दिया जा रहा है. प्राइस किधर? प्रेजेंटेशन किधर? एवरीथिंग आउट ऑफ द रूफ. ओके, नाउ हाँ तू पिच कर. आई वांट टू हियर यू पिच. पिच पिच पिच, नो प्रॉब्लम. कम, आओ इधर बैठो. हाँ, you pitch. Anybody can become a client here. Come on, let me hear her pitch as well. Kanchan, you are good enough here. Come, आजा बेटा. You are a good volunteer. Come.
She will be the candidate.
Hello, your spokesperson. All right, start.
Good afternoon, Kanchan.
Hi, good afternoon.
कंचन, मैं शिवानी बात कर रही थी, वेज एंड सोल्यूशन मुंबई एचआर डिपार्टमेंट से।
ओके।
कंचन, हमारी कंपनी में आपके लिए एक बहुत अच्छी बिजनेस अपॉर्चुनिटी थी फॉर द पोस्ट ऑफ डेवलपमेंट मैनेजर।
ओके।
आप इंश्योरेंस एडवाइज़र हो ना कंचन?
हाँ, मैं इंश्योरेंस एडवाइज़र हूँ पिछले 4.5 साल से।
ओके फाइन। सो जैसा अभी आप 4.5 साल से इंश्योरेंस एडवाइज़र हो ना, हमारी कंपनी में आपको एज एन डेवलपमेंट मैनेजर की वैकेंसी दी जाएगी,
ओके।
वेयर योर मेन प्रोफाइल वुड बी टू रिक्रूट। आपको 5 से 6 एजेंट्स की टीम बनानी है, जिसपे आपको हर एक एजेंट्स के ऊपर 5 to 10% कमीशन मिलेगा अपार्ट फ्रॉम योर फिक्स सैलरी। तो आप मुझे अपनी एज बता सकते हो?
32 एज है मेरी।
ओके। एंड हाउ, आपने लास्ट कैलेंडर ईयर में कितनी पॉलिसीज़ की होंगी?
नहीं, आप पहले मुझे प्रोफाइल बताएंगे अच्छे से।
मैंने बताया ना आपको, प्रोफाइल आपका काम है कि 5 से 6 एजेंट्स की टीम बना के उनसे बिजनेस करवाना।
ओके, बट मैं पिछले 4.5 साल से काम कर रही हूँ,
हाँ,
तो मैं कोई और भी जॉब करती हूँ, तो मुझे वो छोड़ना पड़ेगा।
आप कौन सा काम करते हो पार्ट टाइम में?
मतलब फुल टाइम जॉब करती हूँ मैं।
आप फुल टाइम जॉब करते हो, पार्ट टाइम LIC एजेंट हो, राइट?
यस।
तो फुल टाइम में कौन सा जॉब करते हैं आप?
मैं एज ए सेल्स ऑफिसर हूँ।
एज एन सेल्स ऑफिसर। एंड व्हाट इज योर सैलरी ओवर देयर?
और 2.2 lakhs।
2.2, and here you would be getting 3.0 lakh, and it would be your fixed salary apart from your commission. तो
ओके, बट मैं पिछले 4.5 साल से काम कर रही हूँ LIC में, तो मुझे छोड़ना पड़ेगा।
हाँ मैम, वो आपको छोड़ना पड़ेगा बिकॉज एज पर IRDA के रूल के हिसाब से बीइंग एन एजेंट आप एट द सेम पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम किसी भी कंपनी के साथ काम कर सकते हो, बट अभी हमारी कंपनी में आप एज एन DM की पोस्ट पे रहोगे, तो उसके लिए आपको अपना लाइसेंस ट्रांसफर कराना पड़ेगा। एंड आई थिंक इट वुडंट बी क्रिएट एनी मच इम्पैक्ट ऑन योर करियर बिकॉज आप एक अच्छी पोजीशन पे जा रहे हो।
ओके, बट मैं मुझे अभी मतलब 6 महीने में 5 साल कंप्लीट हो जाएंगे ना LIC में, तो मेरा जो भी कमीशन है फिर आगे स्टार्ट रहेगा, तो मैं 6 महीने के लिए क्यों छोड़ूं?
मैम, आप एक बहुत अच्छे कैंडिडेट हो, और मैं नहीं पर्सनली एज अ प्रोफेशनल सजेशन मैं भी आपको यही बोलूँगी कि आप अपना 6 मंथ मत वेस्ट करो। आप मुझे अपने जैसे 3-4 अगर रेफरेंस दे दोगे दैट वुड बी मच बेटर। मे बी आपके थ्रू किसी और की हेल्प हो जाएगी, क्योंकि लोकेशन भी आपके प्रेफर्ड जोन के हिसाब से है मैम।
ठीक है, अगर कोई होता है तो मैं आपको बताती हूँ उनसे बात करके थोड़ी देर में।
ओके, थैंक यू।
How many of us feel that the development manager position is a good profile? कि यार ये प्रोफाइल अच्छा है किसी भी एजेंट के लिए, कि हमको लगता है कि यार नहीं, वो एजेंट जो सही कह रहा है वो ही इज़ राइट, उसको जो मिलना चाहिए वो उसको मिल रहा है अभी फ़िलहाल, तो नहीं, ये प्रोफाइल उसके लिए ठीक नहीं है। ऐसे लगता है कभी किसी को, यार इसका लाइसेंस हम क्यों सरेंडर करवाते हैं, इसका लाइसेंस सरेंडर नहीं होना चाहिए। ऐसा लगता है कभी किसी को? लगता है ना? समटाइम्स लगता है, एवरी टाइम नहीं लगता। ओके, जब समटाइम्स लोग मना करते हैं लाइसेंस सरेंडर करने से तब लगता है।
जब भी कोई किसी एजेंट को हम लोग कॉल करते हैं और वो मोर देन उसको 10 साल से ज़्यादा का एक्सपीरियंस रहता है ना, तो उन लोगों को लाइसेंस ट्रांसफ़र करने में प्रॉब्लम इसके लिए आती है क्योंकि एक तो वो क्लब मेंबर रहते हैं, प्लस हम लोग भी उन्हें LIC पे ज़्यादा ट्रस्ट होता है और उनको ये डाउट रहता है कि उन्होंने जो बिज़नेस की है वो टाइम पे हमारी कंपनी में आने के बाद वो एग्जिस्टिंग क्लाइंट को सर्व कर सकते हैं, बट दे आर नॉट श्योर कि हमारी कंपनी में उन्हें उतना ही फेथ बिलीव मिलेगा या नहीं, बिकॉज इट्स अ प्राइवेट कंपनी टोटली डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द LIC। तो वो सेंस में
Okay. Now, let's break our pitch. Introduction. Somebody give me the introduction for DM. Just take the mic and give me an introduction, quick. Come on, I want everybody participating now. Take the mic and quick, give me an introduction.
Good afternoon. I'm Pranita from Edelweiss Life Insurance Company, and we have a vacancy for you for the
Introduction only. Only introduction. Only introduction. Come on, one more introduction.
I'm Lavina from Edelweiss Tokyo Life Insurance Company.
Okay, one more.
I'm Shevati from Edelweiss Tokyo Life Insurance Company regarding a job opening for a development manager positions.
Tape on किया है बेटा. Has somebody turned the tape on? वो दर वो एक रिकॉर्ड करके वो फोन के पास ही रख दो ना, इतना घड़ी घड़ी बोलते क्यों हो फिर? Where is the excitement? Where is the smile? Where is the call the person by name? Not your name, candidate's name. Where is the introduction? Here is where we falter one by one.
Good afternoon, Mr. Balakrishna. This is Neha and I'm calling from Edelweiss Tokyo Life Insurance Company.
Fantastic. Fantastic. This is what my introduction is. I can say Edelweiss Tokyo, I can say Waays and Solutions, I can say whatever. This is what my introduction is. Next we break it, come to the short story. वो तो हमने इंट्रोडक्शन के साथ ही चिपका दिया है वहां पर. डेवलपमेंट मैनेजर के रोल के लिए आपको कॉल किया है. ये कोई शॉर्ट स्टोरी हुआ? कोई इंपल्स ही, सारा इंपल्स किल कर दिया उधर ही. सस्पेंस मूवी में अगर तुमने फर्स्ट सीन में दिखा दिया मर्डरर कौन है, तो कौन देखेगा पूरा पिक्चर? इट्स जस्ट लाइक व्हाट यू हैव जस्ट डन राइट नाउ इन अ सस्पेंस थ्रिलर. लास्ट में पता चलता है ना मर्डरर कौन है, वो हमने फर्स्ट सीन दिखा दिया. अब पूरा 3 घंटे का पिक्चर बैठ के कौन देखेगा? तुम्हारा पिच कौन सुनेगा फिर? शॉर्ट स्टोरी, गिव मी अ शॉर्ट स्टोरी फॉर डीएम. आपको एक बिजनेस अपॉर्चुनिटी डेवलपमेंट मैनेजर की पोजीशन के लिए एडलवाइस से, इसलिए मैंने आपको कॉल किया है. ये कोई शॉर्ट स्टोरी हुआ? दिस इज नॉट अ शॉर्ट स्टोरी. कम विद अ शॉर्ट स्टोरी टू मी. I'm happy about the fact that you guys are using business opportunity as a word and not job opportunity. It's a business opportunity that you're talking about. I'm happy about that. But come out with different short stories. And let's follow a sequence. Let's follow a sequence. Somebody just said आपको 24,000 की सैलरी मिलेगी. ये कौन सा presentation हो गया? हम सीधा प्राइस पे आ गए हैं यहाँ पर. We've directly come on to the price. Where is the presentation? And is the presentation all about आपको 5 से 6 एजेंट्स बनाने होंगे और उनसे आपको बिजनेस कराना है? Is that the presentation? One liner? तुमको लगता है कि ये एक लाइन सुनाने से वो अपने 5-6 साल का मेहनत जो उसने अपना लाइसेंस बना के रखा है वो सरेंडर कर देगा? क्योंकि उसको सिर्फ 5 से 6 एजेंट बनाने हैं और उसको बिजनेस निकालना है उनसे. For this one line, you think he will surrender his license? You tell me. You tell me. You got to sound more convincing enough, for which you have to be convinced yourself. Unless and until you are not convinced about the fact that this particular profile is the best for any agent, you cannot convince him. Just like when she said, I'm already working a full-time job. She said, अभी मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा क्या बोलूं उसको मैं. You have to be convinced this is the best job for any agent. If you're not convinced, you cannot convince anybody. Okay? Now my job here right now, the reason I've called everybody over here is I want to convince you how good this profile is for an agent. Let's get into the background or history of an agent. Where's the duster? Let's talk about an insurance agent. An insurance agent is a person, okay, who first of all takes pride of being self-employed. नो बॉस, अपने मर्जी का मालिक. मैं जब चाहूं उठ सकता हूं, जब चाहूं सो सकता हूं, जब चाहूं काम कर सकता हूं. मुझे कोई बोलने वाला नहीं है एक बीवी के अलावा. आई एम सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयड. ओके, that's the first thing that this guy has got in his mind. And the moment I say I've got a job opportunity for you, I am hitting him on his ego. मेरे को नौकरी देगा? कितने में खरीदेगा मेरे को? ये उसका थॉट प्रोसेस हो जाता है. द मोमेंट यू टेल हिम दैट, द मोमेंट यू टेल हिम दैट जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटी, half of your pitch is already gone. Now understand a daily life of an agent. This agent, since he is self-employed, he purely works on referencing. Mind you, He purely works on referencing. He does not have a data sheet to call and sell insurance policies to people. He purely works on references. I go and meet you, I sell you an insurance policy, I take 5 names from you, I go to those 5 people and I say, you have given me their names, and I sell them an insurance policy, I take 5 more names from them. That's how I build up my database as an insurance agent. Okay? I wake up, I pull out my list and I see whom all I have to call today. I call all of those people. I use my own phone, I spend my own bill, and I call all those people as an agent. Okay? I've got one prospective customer in Vashi, I've got one customer in Borivali, and I've got one customer in Dombivli who say, come explain the insurance policy to me. Okay? And most of the time they only meet people on Saturdays and Sundays, because only on Saturdays and Sundays other people are available at home for them to give their presentation. नहीं तो बाकी सब अपने अपने offices में रहते हैं. Okay? So on a Saturday, this agent takes a bus or a train or a rickshaw or whatever, spends his money, goes to customers in Vashi, Borivali and Dombivli. Now most of the times on the very first call, he doesn't sell a policy. He has to do repeat calls. He has to go and meet up with the customer again. Okay? Again he has to go and meet. Sometimes it happens that customer सामने सामने उसको check दे देता है. But हर बार ये नहीं होता. उसको 2 बार 3 बार उस customer को जाके मिल के समझा के उसके बाद उस customer से उसको check लेना होता है. Now after he's taken the check from either one of these places, he goes, submits the check and the form to the insurance company. He submits it to the insurance company. The insurance company processes the form. After processing the form, the insurance company comes out with a medical for the customer. So this person has to tell the customer कि आपका ये medicals है, या आपको डॉक्टर आपके घर पे आ जाएंगे, या आपको ये क्लिनिक में जाके ये medicals करवाने हैं. Medicals हो गए. After medicals, the customer, the insurance company, they come with their underwriting saying this medical is good enough or bad enough for the policy. Let's say it's good enough. Let's keep everything positive. It's good. Okay? So once it's good, the policy goes for issuance. The policy is issued, and after the policy is issued, it comes back in courier to the customer. The customer receives the policy by courier. After he receives the courier, the customer has 15 days free look period to cancel the policy and get a 100% refund. कि मैंने पॉलिसी देखा, जो आपने मुझे समझाया वो इसमें लिखा हुआ नहीं है, आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन दिस पॉलिसी, कैंसिल माई पॉलिसी. 15 दिन के बाद, 15 दिन के अंदर ये कस्टमर कर सकता है. Okay, he can cancel the policy. Now if he doesn't cancel the policy, his policy is in force. So after those 15 days is what the commission is released for the agent. Now earlier the commission was as high as 40%. Okay. Now how does the insurance agent make his money? The insurance agent makes his money if a customer pays 1 lakh rupees premium. If a customer pays a premium of 1 lakh, 40,000 rupees comes to the agent. Now that's not the money he actually is working for. He is working for renewal commissions. Now what are renewal commissions? Renewal commissions are where the customer see for 20 years and he pays premiums for 20 years. So when he pays premium for 20 years, every year this agent makes 2 to 5%. अगर 1 lakh rupees every year वो pay करता है, तो उसमें से उसको 2,000 रुपए agent को जाता है as renewal commission. And over a period of time, an agent has got, let's say 100 or 200 customers paying their renewal commissions. तो ये जब काम करना बंद भी कर दे, तो renewal commission के ऊपर is what he can earn. That's the intention with which every agent works. That's the intention with which every agent works. समझ में आया बात? Okay. Now, earlier it was as high as 40%. It has come down to as low as 15%. जहां पर पहले 1 लाख रुपए का प्रीमियम लेता था और मुझे 40,000 रुपए मिलता था, आज मुझे 15,000 रुपए मिल रहा है फॉर द सेम अमाउंट ऑफ एफर्ट दैट आई एम डूइंग. My effort still the same, my expense is still the same, my revenue has cut down, it's come down. Okay, there are ULIPs. You guys know what ULIPs are? ULIPs are unit linked insurance plans, where the issue in ULIPs are the customer only has to pay for 3 or 5 years. He doesn't have to pay for 20 long years. So 5 साल के बाद में इसका renewal commission बंद. He's not making any money after 5 years on that particular customer. So these are all a lot of things that are coming into an agent's mind. A lot of agents are trying to shift their modus to earn more money. They're trying to see, if I'm doing this, let me see if I can do something else. Because इतना करके पहले जो मेरे को मिलता था पैसे, आज मुझे नहीं मिल रहा. He is looking for options to make money. Now I tell the agent that every morning that you wake up and you make a phone call with your own money, I'll pay that bill. Wherever you're going to Vashi, you're going to Dombivli, you're going to Borivali, wherever you travel, I'll give you money to travel. Okay, I'll give you a laptop, I'll give you a data card. Now you are one individual, you are doing 10 lakh rupees of premium in a year. I'm about to give you an opportunity where you can do 1 crore. Would you want to have an opportunity where you can do 1 crore of business? Okay, I'll give you an office where you can sit and work. You don't have an office today, you work out of home. I'll give you an office to sit and work. How bad is this deal for you? You have to train and develop people. I will have trainers from my office who will help you train your people. Once you have a definite or set number of people working, I will open up a separate office for you. For your day-to-day expenses, I'll give you 25 to 30,000 rupees extra per month for your expenses. What more do you want? This is a business on which you've been earning your livelihood. Your livelihood is what you're earning on this line of business, and I am here to help you grow your business. That's what I'm doing. I'm here to help you grow your business. Why would an agent say no? Why would a person say no? First of all, you tell me whether it's good or bad for an agent, what we are offering. You tell me whether it's good or bad. This guy, what is he losing by doing all this? Now I am asking him, for all that I am giving you, I just require your integrity. I don't want that. I am paying you 25,000 a month and you go and sell LIC to customers. And the company is right in doing so. The company is right in doing so. If somebody comes to me and asks me, Arun, I would like to work for Waays and Solutions, but I also want to work for another consultancy. Okay, so I hope that's okay with you, Arun. Do you think I'm going to say yes? I'm not going to say yes. Why would I say yes? It's as simple as that. As simple as that. Okay? It's only a win-win situation for every agent. It's only a win-win situation. Now, whatever renewal commissions people are earning, what I would want to do here, okay, I would also want Preeti to come down over here. Let's get a negative positive session that happens over here. Throw questions. मेरा एजेंट ये बोल रहा है, ये बंदा ऐसे बोल रहा है, तो मैं उसको कैसे कन्विंस करूं? What do I say? What do I not say? Let's have these question answer sessions where you can close or improve your closures. But one thing you got to keep in your mind, this is the best position for him. If he's not getting closed, it's because you're not pitching it right. In your introduction and short story, if you're saying I'm calling from Edelweiss for a DM position, it's over. That's not the way you pitch. Especially after you know what the 5 steps are, what the 4 factors are. Especially after that. Every candidate whom you speak to, there's a simple answer that I get. आपको मेरा number कहाँ से मिला? IRDA के पोर्टल से मिला। दुनिया को एक्सेस है IRDA के पोर्टल को, आपका नंबर को दुनिया को एक्सेस हो गया, अभी गया आप। Well, as Kanchan just mentioned, take the person's name above that name and say, इनसे आपका मुझे रेफरेंस मिला है, ये कल जा रहे हैं इंटरव्यू के लिए। And don't even use the word interview. You say meeting with the branch manager. I'm scheduling a meeting with the branch manager for you. My job is not to convert you from a self-employed to an employed or a salaried person. My job is to provide you an opportunity. Okay, and the reason why you're getting this opportunity is because you are self-employed. It's because you're self-employed is what we respect you. And we don't want to convert you to a salaried employee. We want to enhance or help you in your business. That's what our job is. Change your pitch from आपको 5 से 6 एजेंट बनाने हैं और उनसे आपको बिजनेस कराना है. This is not the pitch you give. Might work for some people, but in the long run it's not going to sustain. You get a lot of no's. That's not the presentation at all. I'm about to give you a job opportunity. I'm sorry, I'm about to give you a business opportunity. Now the opportunity is such where if you're, what's the amount of business you're doing on a yearly basis right now? How many policies? How would it be if you can increase it 10-folds? We at Edelweiss, we respect entrepreneurs or self-employed people or businessmen, and we want you to enhance your business. But we are not Mother Teresa, we're not doing it for charity. Okay, well, we have our own vested interests. These are certain things that we are here to provide to you. You will provide you an office to work for. Provided by desktops and laptops, okay, and data cards to work for. Your mobile bills will be taken care of. Your traveling will be taken care of. I will not stop you from servicing your existing clients from your previous company. You can continue to service your previous clients. I'm not about to stop you from doing so. We will help you build up a team of people. आपको अपना 5 से 6 लोगों को लाना पड़ेगा. किधर से आप लाते हो आपकी वो टेंशन है, मुझे नहीं पता कहां से आप लाओगे. We will help you build up your team. We will help you train your team. Your team will be trained. Even the branch manager along with the trainer will come along with you on calls to meet customers and help you build your business. Over a period of time, we want to see you in your own individual office. And that's what we commit to you. That's what we commit. There have been instances, and this is not just a great fact that I'm giving you guys here. We've got MDRTs, if you know what that is, COTs, TOTs who have joined for 2.5 lakh rupee package. When I'm saying TOT, COT, these guys are earning 25 lakh rupees as premium, as commissions. 25 lakhs plus of commission is what this guy is making, and he's joined Edelweiss at 2.5 lakhs. Because he's understood the opportunity. Here we are not selling the opportunity. You're trying and selling the job. इसने अगर पूछा कि क्या पोजीशन है वो तो बताओ, and you say मैंने तो बताया ना आपको 5 से 6 लोग बनाने हैं और उसमें से आपको बिजनेस निकालना है. नहीं, that's not the job. That's not the opportunity. Sir, आप बताओ आप क्या करना चाहते हो? At the age of 60 you still want to walk alone, one man army? कि आप करो नहीं, आप नहीं करोगे तो कोई बिजनेस नहीं, बस अपने रिन्यूअल कमीशन के ऊपर आप रहोगे? Or you want to build a sustainable business for yourself where you got an office that you're working on? What is that you want? I'm here to help you out, expand and grow your business. More than just being a recruiter or an HR executive, I'm being a consultant for you. I want to consult with you how well you can expand your business. 4.5 years, somebody said, 4.5 साल हुए हैं मुझे और मेरे को 6 महीने बच गए मेरे पास. Okay? What will you lose? Now you were a part-time agent, okay, who were working a job somewhere else, okay, with 4.5 years. Now what renewal commission do you have that you have to lose? Well, for that renewal commission, I'm in which way giving you 25,000 rupees a month. What more do you want? if a person understands this opportunity properly, or if you are able to make him understand this opportunity properly, DM जैसा कोई profile नहीं है. Now you will already have a lot of people who will say मेरे को बहुत सारे calls आ चुके हैं. I've received calls for this particular profile. What do you say then? जब कोई बोलता है मुझे बहुत सारे calls आ चुके हैं DM के लिए, तो क्या बोलते हो आप? आप इतने relevant हो इसलिए आपको calls आ रहे हैं. What else do you say? और किसी को नहीं मिलता जो पहले ही जा चुका है या पहले ही कॉल आ चुका. So to positives, the better for you. The more lineups that happen, more people go for interviews, more closures happen. Everything's positive. So let's convert negatives to positive. I want to hear a lot of negatives right now. Give me negatives. Take the mic. Let everybody hear. No, we need it for the camera. Use कर बेटा mic.
हेलो ठीक.
सर डॉक्यूमेंट सबमिट के बाद भी देन वो बैकआउट करते हैं कि नो आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड. सो उस टाइम पे नहीं समझ आता, फिर देन मुझे स्टॉप रिसीविंग कॉल एंड ऑल. व्हाट आई कैन डू कि मेरा 4 कैंडिडेट्स का डॉक्यूमेंटेशन सबमिट हुआ, देन उनके बाद उनको पता नहीं उनके किसने बोला ब्रांच मैनेजर पसंद नहीं आता, किसी को उसका एटीट्यूड पसंद नहीं आता है. प्रॉब्लम वहाँ पे आता है. बोलता है ब्रांच मैनेजर का एटीट्यूड अच्छा नहीं था मेरे साथ. आई एम एक्सपीरियंस पर्सन और जो उसका एटीट्यूड था मैंने उससे क्रॉस क्वेश्चनिंग किया, देन मतलब उसने एक्सप्लेन भी नहीं किया.
Have you given this feedback of branch manager's attitude to anybody? Because it's a serious issue.
Yeah.
Okay?
क्योंकि
Because
मेरे
if
दो
there's a
candidates
branch
का
manager's
same
issue,
problem आया.
now I am listening to this right now.
Yeah.
If I get to know that there's a branch manager issue, there's the next phone call that will go to the HR and say, I'll not be working for this branch unless and until you straighten out things that are.
सेम प्रॉब्लम आया था. 2 कैंडिडेट्स बोल के मैडम मैं 14-15 साल से LIC में काम करूँ, मेरी अपनी रेपुटेशन है. When I asked question to the branch manager, then उसने सिंपल मुझे रिप्लाई देना भी ज़रूरी नहीं समझा. बोला आई फील इंसल्ट. तो मैं वहाँ से उठ के आ गया. मतलब वो मैंने उसको कन्वर्ट किया था. 14-15 ईयर्स का एक्सपीरियंस था. मैंने उसको कन्विंस करके वहाँ भेजा. देन उसको ब्रांच मैनेजर का इतना गंदा लगा, देन वो आ गया वहाँ से.
So you got to let us know about it. Because I do not want to waste time sending good candidates to that branch and the branch manager avoiding everybody. Okay?
दिल्ली में प्रॉब्लम आ रहा था या ना.
इंदौर के ब्रांच मैनेजर का भी बहुत सारा कंप्लेंट्स हैं. लाइक आई एनकाउंटर 4 to 5 पीपल्स हु सेड कि आप जब ब्रांच मैनेजर को हटा दोगे देन आई विल गो फॉर द इंटरव्यू. वो इन वन कैंडिडेट ही वाज वर्किंग इनटू एडलवाइस. ही टोल्ड कि ब्रांच मैनेजर यहाँ का ऐसा है ना कि 10 पॉलिसीज मैंने ला के रखा है, बट एक पॉलिसी भी इन्होंने क्लोज नहीं किया.
चल निकलवा देते हैं उस ब्रांच मैनेजर.
ऑल ओवर इंदौर रेपुटेशन इतना खराब है. कैंडिडेट्स आर इंटरेस्टेड, मुंह पे बोल रहे हैं मैडम मैं जाना चाहता हूँ, आई वांटेड टू गो, बट ब्रांच मैनेजर को मुझे नहीं जाना. द ब्रांच मैनेजर मतलब आई कैंट यूज द वर्ड ही यूज, बट ही टोल्ड कि जब तक वो ब्रांच मैनेजर रहेगा आई डोंट वांट टू वर्क विथ हिम. इंदौर का देर आई एनकाउंटर्ड 4 to 5 पीपल्स जिन्होंने ये सीधा स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड फीडबैक दिया कि ब्रांच मैनेजर वहाँ का ऐसा है, वी डोंट वांट टू वर्क विथ हिम.
उठा लेते हैं उसको.
आई टोल्ड प्रीति मैम ट्वाइस.
No, if there's one such feedback, I would want such feedbacks to come back from you. Okay, the reason being, we can take it up with the HR. We can let the HR know this is what the issue that we are facing. Okay, so you might as well straighten things out there. I can speak to the regional head over there. Okay, and I can straighten the attitude of branch managers there as well, which has happened in the past. It has happened in the past.
He told me.
My job. I am talking about things which are in our control. Okay, there was an instance where a branch manager was removed, and I'm telling this to you, in a particular branch because he used to chew pan, have his foot on the chair while doing an interview. And this is the feedback I got from a candidate. There was an email that went from our side and the branch manager was changed there. Okay, so these are certain important things that we need to know. Okay, while If there's a feedback you need to give us a feedback. If you keep this with you, how am I supposed to know? And what the issues that I'm talking about over here are issues which are in our control. Negatives that candidates give you for which you are not able to increase your lineups. Those are the negatives I'm talking about. Okay, branch manager की शक्ल पसंद नहीं है, वो सब में बाद में बात करेंगे हम. Okay, I'm talking about the issues you're facing while talking to the candidate, where the candidate says something for which you don't have an answer or you don't know how to face it.
मैंने कल एक MDRT एजेंट्स को भेजा था, was done 1000+ policies in जोधपुर. He got selected because RHB था उधर. He got selected. आज he is telling कि मुझे देखना है आपकी कंपनी का क्या प्रोडक्ट है. इफ़ इन केस मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मैं लोगों को कन्विंस कर सकता हूँ आपका प्रोडक्ट सेल करने के लिए, तभी मैं जाऊँगा. ऐसा उसने फीडबैक दिया. तो आई एम लाइक, मैंने अपनी तरफ से कन्विंस किया कि आप ऑनलाइन जाके चेक करो, हमारी जो पॉलिसीज़ है कंपनी की इज़ लाइक कंज्यूमर की नीड्स के हिसाब से, जो कंज्यूमर्स की नीड्स है.
कौन सी
अपडेटेड
पॉलिसीज
है? नहीं, वो
एक पॉलिसी का नाम तो बताओ मुझे.
बोल,
एक पॉलिसी का नाम बताओ ना मुझे.
मैंने ऑनलाइन चेक किया था, वहाँ पे
नाम बताओ एक पॉलिसी के जो कंज्यूमर के नीड्स के हिसाब से. वो कौन से पॉलिसी है हमारी?
आई गॉट अ फीडबैक फ्रॉम माय कैंडिडेट. वो जब भी ब्रांच मैनेजर के पास गया था ना,
बेटा, let's not try and convince people without even knowing what it is. If you get one such thing, all that you got to say, you tell a Preeti, this candidate is saying such, okay? We can take it to the HR, I can tell the regional head, if he's an MDRT agent and the branch manager really wants him, the branch manager will go to his home and convince him. Yaar, home visit क्यों होता है? Home visit is not to check whether the candidate stays in a good home or no. That's not the reason why the home visit happens. The home visit happens that the branch manager creates a rapport with the candidate and his family. घर में कुछ नेगेटिव वगैरह होंगे तो हम हैं यहाँ पर, आप चिंता नहीं करो, ये कहने के लिए वो होम विजिट करता है. It's not to check कि यार ये झोपड़े में रह रहा है कि महल में. That's not the reason why a home visit happens. So when one such thing happens, give us a feedback. Okay, we'll let the branch manager know this is a candidate. Well, we want you to just convince him more. ताली दो हाथ से बचती है. One side, what we do is sending the candidate to the branch. The next side, the branch manager, he convinces the candidate, he pulls the candidate in. So we are doing our part and he is doing his. We get a lot of complaints from branches as well कि यहाँ पर सिर्फ candidate ने बोला कि हमको बस आप चले जाओ इंटरव्यू के लिए, वहाँ पर मिल लेंगे, वो आपको सारा कुछ समझा देंगे. That's the feedback I've got. A lot of branches have said that. Preeti knows about it. Where the branch managers are, she's the one who takes the brunt from all branch managers. वह ब्रांच मैनेजर बोलता है यार कैंडिडेट आप भेज रहे हो, उसको बताओ तो सही कि वो आया क्यों है यहाँ पर. somebody said चाय पे चर्चा करने के लिए आपको बुलाया है ब्रांच मैनेजर ने. आपको एक कप चाय पे बुलाया है ब्रांच मैनेजर ने, तो आप चले जाइए. और ये चाय पीने चला गया वहां पर. And this guy sits in front of the branch manager. और बताओ, तो what do you think the branch manager will do there? समझ में आ रहा है? तो it's not, I am talking about our issues, something which you are not able to convince a candidate on. And if nobody has any issues here, I need bloody 15 lineups from everybody every day.
That means ऐसा कोई situation आएगा तो we need to report to you.
Of course you need to.
Okay. One thing from me, आज वाला candidate.
Any other issues?
Many of the candidates say that they don't believe in private organization. It's a private organization and LIC में लोग काम करते रहेंगे तो उनका commission भी चालू रहेगा, renewals भी चालू रहेगा. They don't believe in private.
Okay. First of all, forget about whether it's a private or a public organization. Okay. What I'm about to give you here is an opportunity. It is an opportunity. Every insurance company, before it becomes an insurance company, has to deposit an amount of 100 crores non-refundable to IRDA. Okay, if it goes bankrupt all the customers will be paid money from this amount. And as and when the company's AUM, asset under management, keeps increasing, the deposits also keep increasing. Okay? That's number one about any private organization for that matter. Okay? Every private organization, if it goes bankrupt, is taken over by any other company. The customers are always safeguarded by IRDA. Number two, चूंकि आप LIC में हो, LIC is very good. Okay? LIC को गाली देते मत फिरना, वो कौन सी कंपनी है, उससे अच्छा तो ये सब मत करना. LIC is very good. इस वजह से आपको ये अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रही है. ये अपॉर्चुनिटी भी आपको LIC के वजह से ही मिल रही है. You're not getting this opportunity because of anything else. It's because of, so you have to thank LIC that you've got one such opportunity for yourself. Because you worked well there, what we are providing you is, we're not talking about the company of any company. We are talking about your individual growth. मैं कंपनी के बारे में बात ही नहीं कर रहा यहाँ पर, मैं आपके बारे में बात कर रहा हूँ. कंपनी छोड़ो ना. So people know you because of LIC or people know you because of you? What do people know you for? What reputation you have? You have LIC reputation or you have a reputation as an individual? What I am here to provide to you is an opportunity for you individually to grow. Not the company. I'm not talking about any company. I'm talking about you as an individual. समझ में आई बात? Any other negatives? Shoot negatives quick. What are the negatives? हाँ पूछो ना.
There's many customers, they even say, you know, कि
फ्यूज उड़ गया बेटा तेरा. और कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है? श्योरी उन्होंने पूछ लिया. नो इश्यूज. अरे माइक बंद होता है तो हंसते क्यों हो?
राइट. तो वहाँ पे जब वो जाते हैं तो हम लोग थोड़ा सा एक अच्छा सा प्रेजेंटेशन देते हैं कि ठीक है आपको 40% आपको कमीशन मिलेगा अपने बिजनेस का, 15-25% आपको एजेंट की कमीशन का मिलेगा. वहाँ मैनेजर के पास जाते हैं, जब बात होता है, डिस्कशन होता है, मैंने कौन बोला तुमको 10 मिलेगा 8 मिलेगा, तो वो बोलता है मैडम आप झूठ क्यों बोल रहे हो.
तो आप झूठ क्यों बोल रहे हो?
नहीं सर झूठ नहीं बोल रहे, बट
फिर क्या तो कैसे पता सच बोल रहे हो?
वो बोलते हैं प्रेजेंट कि आपको किसने बोला ये इतना. मैंने
हाँ तो आपको किसने बोला? मैं पूछ रहा हूँ आपसे.
मुझे सर
40%, 50%, 25%, जो परसेंट मन में आप बोल दोगे उसको.
नो मुझे स्टार्टिंग से यही 15-25% कमीशन मिलता है एजेंट का.
हाँ.
जो मुझे ट्रेनिंग या जो भी प्रोफाइल में आता है यही था कि 40% कमीशन आपको अपने बिजनेस का मिलेगा, 15-25% कमीशन आपको एजेंट के बिजनेस का मिलेगा. तो वहाँ बोलते हैं मैडम वहाँ तो बयान में बोल रहा है 8-10 आपको मिलेगा, हार्डली मिलेगा.
कितना मिलेगा?
8 मिलेगा, 10 मिलेगा एजेंट के बिजनेस का. तो फिर वो क्या होता है, उससे लगता है कि यार ये थोड़ा ऐसी फालतू बोल के.
तो तुम परसेंटेज फिगर क्यों बताते हो उसको?
वो बोलते हैं ना एजेंट काम करेंगे, मैं एजेंट बना के देता हूँ कंपनी.
आप एजेंट मेरे लिए नहीं बना रहे हो, किसी को दे भी नहीं रहे हो आप.
हाँ.
ये एजेंट्स जो हैं ये आपके ही हैं.
और एक क्वेश्चन
ये आप किसी को एक क्वेश्चन का जवाब तो ले लो पहले. ओके, आप कोई एजेंट किसी और के लिए नहीं बना रहे हो, ये आप अपनी खुद के लिए बना रहे हो. नंबर 1. And why do you have to commit a 15, 20, 25, 40%? Why can't you just say whatever business your agent does, you make? That's not going to entice people. Then that comes as a negative to you. कि तुमने 25 बोला 10 ही मिल रहा है. क्यों बोलना कोई फिगर?
एक मिडल फिगर
क्यों बोलना? You will make an incentive based on your agent sales. You will make an incentive on that as well. From your own sales, you will make incentive on sales done by your team as well. Why do you have to give a person figure? You don't need to give a figure. And people whom we are talking to people who are experienced enough. They are 40 years plus. Most of the time you speak to people, they are 40 years plus. Why do we, I don't want to make a fool out of anybody and make a person join, because if he joins also, he will quit within a month. It's of no use for anybody. I want this person to understand what is he going for, what is he getting into, and then join. So let's not get into a figure कि आपको 15% मिलेगा, 25% मिलेगा, 40% मिलेगा, नहीं. I don't know, आप branch manager से पूछ लीजिए सर, he'll be the best person to tell you कि आपका percentage क्या मिलेगा. One thing I know for sure is you will get a percentage on sales done by your team.
सर एक क्वेश्चन एक कल राइज हुआ था, उसने पूछा था मुझसे, मैम अगर मैं बनाता हूँ, एजेंट बना के देता हूँ कंपनी में, और सपोज मैं 2 या 3 साल बाद कंपनी छोड़ता हूँ, तो जो मैंने आपकी कंपनी को एजेंट दिए हैं, तो क्या मुझे उसका कमीशन मिलेगा बाद में? लाइक कि मुझे कुछ बेनिफिट, अगर मैं एजेंट देख के आपको चला जाता हूँ, मैंने 2-3 साल बाद छोड़ दिया अपना जॉब, तो मुझे क्या बेनिफिट होगा उसका?
जॉब छोड़ने पे आपको क्या बेनिफिट मिलता है सर, बताइए.
वो मैंने भी यही बोला था सेम, कि आपने छोड़ दिया तो छोड़ दिया वाला चीज़, बट ऐसे उसमें कैसे मैनिपुलेट करें?
Manipulate नहीं. We should not manipulate. Please, it's a good word you use, and that's one thing I want to tell everybody. Do not manipulate. Do not manipulate. जो है वही बताओ, बट सही तरीके से बताओ.
वही पूछना था कि एक्चुअली कैसे इसको
सर 3 साल बाद आप छोड़ दोगे, फिर आप क्या आशा रख रहे हो? What are you thinking कि 3 साल बाद छोड़ दोगे, फिर भी आपको किस चीज का कमीशन चाहिए? आपको आपके एजेंट्स को तो कोई और संभालता होगा, तभी उनको तो आप अनाथ करके जा रहे हो ना, तो कोई और संभाल रहा है उनको, तो उनको देंगे कि आपको देंगे? सीधी सी बात है. Any other questions? तुम दोनों को तो ऑफिस में बिठा के भी मैं जवाब दे सकता था, इतने लोगों को क्यों बुलाया मैंने? Come on, ask questions, you guys. This session is for you. आप पूछ बेटा, तो पूछ.
आजकल मतलब ज़्यादा एजेंट्स लोग ये बोल रहे हैं कि आजकल मार्केट बहुत डाउन हो गया लाइफ इंश्योरेंस का, बिकॉज ऑफ मोदी ने जो पॉलिसीज निकाल दी आजकल बैंक की, तो 20 रुपीज़ 12 रुपीज़ पर मंथ, नहीं 1 रुपीज़ पर मंथ, साल का 12 रुपये भरने का, और 365 रुपीज़ भरने की वजह से आजकल लोग पॉलिसीज नहीं ले रहे, तो हमारा मार्केट डाउन हो गया है. तो आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन वर्किंग इनटू इंश्योरेंस, लाइफ इंश्योरेंस कंपनी. ये फीडबैक आजकल ज़्यादा आ रहा है.
See, there are agents who are looking for options apart from insurance. They are agents. सर जहाँ पर मार्केट डाउन है, वहाँ पर इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज भी चालू हो रही हैं. जहाँ पर बाकी सारे कंपनीज अपने ब्रांचेस बंद कर रही हैं, एडलवाइज अपने ब्रांचेस ओपन कर रही है. ओके, जहाँ पर आपको अर्निंग्स का श्योरिटी नहीं है, वहाँ पर मैं आपको 25,000 रुपये महीने का श्योर अर्निंग दे रही हूँ. मार्केट डाउन है, इस डाउन मार्केट में आपको मैं फिक्स्ड अमाउंट दे रही हूँ महीने का, आपको हेल्प करने के लिए. इट्स अ डाउन मार्केट, यस. मुझे पता है आपको कितना मेहनत लगता है या कितना मुश्किल से आपको एक पॉलिसी मिलता है. आज आपको आपका पॉलिसी मिले ना मिले, आपका घर चलेगा सर, ये मैं एश्योर करके देती हूँ. What are the negatives? तो डीएम करती है बेटा? Come on, I'm waiting for more negatives. Come on. No more negatives? Everybody's positive?
सर मैंने एक ही दिन डीएम पे काम किया था. तो एक कैंडिडेट मुझे ऐसा मिला, वो इंदौर में ही रहता है उधर, और आई हैव वर्क फॉर CBMM प्रोफाइल, चीफ बिजनेस मेंटर मैनेजर. सो मैंने उसको बोला, कंपनी ऑफरिंग फॉर यू 8 लाख अप टू 8 लाख फिक्स अमाउंट फॉर यू. सो ही टोल्ड मी राइट नाउ आई एम गेटिंग 5.5 lakh per annum. So till if you are offering me 8 lakh, till I will not go in that company. So I asked him that why you are not going on in that company. So he told to me that this company reputation is not good, system is not good. Many candidates joined over there and many candidates left from that company. So I asked him how you can directly say like this. So he told me I have my friends are already working over there, and but they left from this company. So that's
okay. ये इट इज़ इंफॉर्मेशन टू मी कि तुम क्या चाह रहे हो मेरे से.
नहीं, इन्होंने वो कैंडिडेट ने मुझे ये फीडबैक दिया, इसलिए इन शॉर्ट वो बोल रहा है कि सिस्टम अच्छा नहीं है कंपनी का, कंपनी का रेपुटेशन खराब है ये
Okay. Now, every coin has two sides. Okay? Every coin has two sides. Now, if you ask people who have not been performing and quitting Waays and Solutions, forget about any other company, I'm talking about Waays and Solutions itself. जिन लोगों ने परफॉर्म नहीं किया और 2 महीने के अंदर उन्होंने Waays and Solutions छोड़ दिया, उनको अगर पूछेंगे कि Waays and Solutions कैसी कंपनी है, ओके, तो क्या कंपनी है, सैलरी भी नहीं देती, फ्री में काम करवाती है, बकवास कंपनी है, मत ज्वाइन करो, बोलेंगे. You'll have people who say that. But if you ask people who have earned incentives, who've taken a check of 40,000, 50,000, 60,000 and ask them how is Waays and Solutions, well, they'll have all the praises on earth for Waays and Solutions. They'll have all the praises of earth. You will have people who will say yes and you will have people say no. You can't stop them. You can't stop them. That's your opinion and you have full right to have your own opinion. So that's not a basis on which I make judgments. कि वो सारा सब कुछ वहीं पर it's all rotten. No. That's not the basis on which. कुछ लोग होंगे जो LIC को गाली देते होंगे आज. कुछ लोग होते हैं जो रिलायंस को गाली देते हैं. बहुत लोग हैं जो मोदी को गाली देते हैं. Hey, there are people yes and there are no. Happens. But my point here is, if you are continuing or if you're going to continue to pitch the way you do, you will get the same results. And they will not be anywhere close to being satisfied. They will not be satisfying results. If you want different results, if you want better results, you have to pitch differently. You have to pitch better. You have to pitch with excitement. Whatever was discussed in the morning, you have to pitch with a lot of excitement. You have to pitch with calling the candidate by name, taking references, okay, counting on number of candidates whom you have spoken to, pitching a candidate, explaining him what the job opportunity is or the business opportunity is in the best ever presentation that you can give. You do that, then you see what kind of results you get. Okay, as I said, the same candidate who says no to one person says yes to the other, just because of the way the other person spoken to him or her. Is this clear? Anything else anybody else wants to say before I end today's session and before you guys can rush home? Anything else anybody wants to say? This is what I love to do towards the end of any meeting. Okay, somebody's got a pen and a paper in hands. So what I want to know, if everybody knows everything about DMs and everybody has no further questions, is completely convinced about how this profile is, this, if I shake you up and wake you up by 2 o'clock in the morning and say, give me the 5 steps, give me the 4 factors, it should be there on the tip of your tongues. It should be there, the system should be there in your blood. You master this, it's just like learning a bicycle, how to ride a bicycle. Just like learning how to ride a bicycle. You will never forget cycling once you learn to ride a bicycle. Just like swimming. You will never forget swimming once you learn how to swim. Once you learn this, you will never forget it. Your basics and fundamentals are strong. Then you can start building skyscrapers. But if you start thinking of building skyscrapers even without having your basics right, that's not going to be possible. Okay? Follow this to a T. Catch the person's ear sitting next to you if they do not use the 5 steps in the right manner. Catch the person by the ear and say, "Tu price kyun bol rahi hai abhi? It's time for presentation." Ask yourself, catch yourself, in which step am I on right now? Am I on the presentation? Am I on price? Which step? That way you can take the call in the direction you want to. Get better at it. It's for your good. ठीक है? Thank you for coming. Thank you guys. Thank you. All